TK.
I've been here all day of my life. Work student queer, I be old with my sight. Some will share, others do as they like. Some you flesh them watch here with them fork and knife. Some don't care, they like this like ice. I'm talking like that every time, but I'm holding firm. Every man deserves to earn. Jaja come a plan with success, holding firm. Every man deserves to earn. You won't see that in the mess, you say I'm it's an attitude, yeah. I don't choose, I don't lose, so go on your way. Money is the order of your day. Choosing your work, that won't stay. Want to come to do, I don't choose, and then kiss me and allow me in. Every obstacles I don't move, giant I move, holding firm. Everybody wants to learn. Judge a full of life with success, holding firm.
Something wrong with these wires here. Can I?
My headphone shorting bad too.
You know what I like about Carrot? What? It's real lemon juice inside every one.
Exactly. Look, you can even see how good it is. That's actual lemon juice in it.
Turn the bottle upside down and everything's perfectly mixed, as it should be.
Cheers to that. Carrot wrap, flip, open, sip, and answer McCall Group Company.
So you heard the ad, right? Well, you heard the ad. Nobody was listening. Share, play it again for me, please. Just play it again. All you need to listen to the ad carefully.
Listening to the art.
Cool. Here we go. 2 cold curry rattlers.
Nice. You know what I like about Carrot Rattler? What? It's real lemon juice inside every one.
Exactly. Look, you can even see how good it is. That's actual lemon juice in it.
Turn the bottle upside down and everything's perfectly mixed, as it should be.
Cheers to that. Carrot wrap, flip, open, sip, and answer McCall Group Company.
Right, so that's real easy. So and if you feel you want to be a part of this one, because I'm not going to give you the question first, you have to come and stand here, and then I'll give the question. Come. Carrot Brandler, yeah? You have to answer the question about Carrot Brandler. You inside? Come. Alright.
Want to hit a foggy?
Come.
Yeah.
Come. What is the main ingredient in the Carrot Radler? Lemon juice. You know, yeah. Should play the ad again for them. Just play the ad. Just play the ad. Just play the ad. Well, listen to the ad carefully.
Yo, I buy me lunch. You buy the drinks.
Imagine they saying it's a lemon and that's a new ball oranges here.
You know what I like?
Oh Lord, we sweet.
Real lemon juice inside every one.
Exactly. Look, you can even see how good it is. That's actual lemon juice in it.
Turn the bottle upside down and everything's perfectly mixed, as it should be.
Cheers to that. Carrot wrap, flip, open, sip, and answer McCall Group Company.
Very well and well done. Congratulations going on to you. Of course, the Carrot Bradler for making it possible here on 102.1 FM. We say congrats to you. Well, I give a round of applause. That was fine. You're welcome, darling. You're welcome. Of course, we had yourself a wonderful
Yes,
time.
Miss UNC.
And we say many thanks, of course.
What's
Carrot
that?
Bradler,
I mean,
open
UNC
sip,
meeting.
Real lemon juice. All you gotta do.
You have
is to
a ad
sip
for
on
that?
it, all right?
Yeah. But I see it on the
102.1
system.
FM with the ultimate DJ
You go
Shady
find it.
Sugar Cane Line. Gonna be next week, Friday.
We-
Don't home bar.
oh, maybe
Carrot
it's not.
time, alright? And all I'm hearing in my head is the bang bang crew telling me, well, we have two have Dog Home Bar. Alright, so Dog Home Bar. And next week, in Carrot Chime, that's where you can find us with the weekend pass. The weekend after that, we're gonna be at Kaiser Blues.
Oh, it's a
And,
live
then we
thing.
head out to Tego Martin, Brian's Bar. Right, so look out for us, the weekend pass. Not for the You wanna sing a love song for me? Alright.
Monroe. Yep.
तुझे देखा तो ये जाना
सनम
अब यहाँ से कहाँ जाए हम तेरी बाहों में मर जाए हम
Yeah.
Woohoo! Thank you
Hey,
so much,
ciao.
John. And can I give a round of applause for me? Well, John, of course, we always have ourselves a good time whenever we are out here with the weekend pass, bringing it to you live on Power 1 and 2. You can check us out tomorrow, God's willing, for the reggae ride on Power 1 and 2 from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So look over the ultimate DJ.
Darren, come in.
Studio, right?
Huh?
So on behalf
Darren
of
Bravo,
Uncle
come in.
G, the ultimate DJ,
Oh, there
Shane,
was another
Kenny,
one.
Barry, Betty, we're going to take you back to study, but we
Yeah.
say many thanks first. Of course, the Carib Radler making it possible here on 102.1 FM. On behalf of the ultimate DJ Shane, yours truly, Galen Pan is my name. We're out.
Where is it going?
You have been listening to the Weekend Pass here on Power 102.1 FM. Coming up next, Trinidad and Tobago #1 nighttime program when it comes to sex education, Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM.
Where's it going?
Totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts
111
in the
for
brain.
two.
The largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
10-5.
Discussion on all sexual
And by
matters.
bye.
Explosion on Power 102. Empowering you.
Still 10 runs over.
10. Let us play out a little bit there. You ever hear about a woman called Julie, John?
Yeah.
She's a UNC person.
She was chairman of HCC.
Oh.
She was in Massive Pandey government, I think Patrick Pandey government. Let's just score it before we go.
112 for 2, 11-1. Yeah, 112. Well, thank you for staying here with us on Power 102.1 FM and a very special nighttime greetings to you. Special thanks as always to Gayland and Shane with the weekend past. All taking returns now 5 minutes after 9 o'clock, and we do welcome you to Trinidad and Tobago #1 nighttime program when it comes to sex education on this Friday evening, Sexplosion, with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image, and the Adult Therapy Center outlets in Augustine. And a very, very special good evening to you, my brother. It's strange to see you here this evening when I'm thinking of terms that there is cricket at the Queen's Park Oval.
At 112 for 2, 11.3 overs. Yes.
So there's a strong. There's a strong
TKR button.
Yeah, there's a
Yes,
strong-
what am I doing here?
Yes.
What am I doing here talking about sex? Well,
Yeah.
of course, I have a commitment to my listeners who are not interested in cricket, who are home. They have joined us on Facebook. They have joined us on www.power102fm. They have joined us on the app. They have joined us on Instagram. So we have a fair size audience. I don't know, maybe about 20, 30 people.
No, well, that's a good start when you're thinking in terms of the back.
Well, everybody's
you know.
focused on the cricket, so I'm sure some of them have the cricket on their television and they're listening to us. So
As a matter of fact, I think
I know one person who said they were waiting on us to get the scores. So that's why we have to give
yeah.
the scores ever so often.
so. We got to keep on top of the game as far as where the scores are concerned.
That's right. So you make sure you let me know the scores also, because
yes,
I don't
I'll
want to
keep
be
you- I'll
I don't want to
keep
be
you
missing out on anything.
No, we wouldn't like that.
But we're here to talk about sex,
Yes,
sex, and more
and,
sex. Last night program was interesting. Talking about economic impact on persons when it comes to their sexual health and sexual behavior.
Oh, okay.
And even today, I had individuals asking me about that, and they were asking, well, those who missed the program yesterday, well, of course, you can get it on Facebook, but those who missed the program yesterday did not see what, or did not hear what I was talking about as far as that is concerned, and that does play a part. And of course, we have other little things to talk about when it comes to sexual health and wellness. And we may have someone asking questions about things that of a sexual nature. So who knows what's going to happen
Yes,
tonight?
and as always, it's a Friday evening. And,
It is a Friday
you know,
evening.
They say weekends are very sexually active on a weekend, especially when you're heading into the weekend.
Well, I think individuals wait for an opportunity to become amorous with one another, and of course, when you have a weekend coming up, most men start looking for sex. And you know, somebody was saying today, they can't fathom how sometimes a man will call a woman and say, "I'll see you tomorrow 8 o'clock, and we're going to have sex," and that happens because some men are incapable of doing that, and some men are capable of doing that very well. It's very easy to do. You can schedule when you're going to have sex, how you're going to have sex, who you're going to have sex with, and just simply have sex. But each individual is unique, and each individual is different when it comes to their sexual prowess, when it comes to their ability.
Yeah, but don't you think that it's much better than it happen? You know, you go and you have sex, not expecting, rather than planning it.
Well, both could work in your favor, because when you plan it, you know exactly what you're looking forward to, and you know what you want to expect, your expectations, and you have made it clear what you meeting for. Sometimes you meet with a woman, or you meet with a man, and you want to have sex, but the person beating around the bush. What happens then?
From that point.
What happens then? Now, if you know you're going to meet for sex, you're going to meet for sex. I think a person should not beat around if they want to have sex, especially if you're an adult. If you meeting somebody for sex, let it be known it's going to be sexual. However the sex comes about, it should not be regimented in a way that you set a time and a specific time for that. But what you can do is play along and work towards it. And we all know about seduction and all those things and how it works and whatever happens. But individuals are always different. Sometimes the things that will stimulate you may be quite different. When I make the statement, sex starts in the brain, that's exactly where it starts. If the brain is not functioning well, or if you have wired your brain in a particular way, when it comes to things of a sexual nature, that is what is going to happen. Yes, you shouldn't plan sex all the time, but how many of us go to bed at night expecting sex from our wives or our husbands and don't get it?
I look forward every night.
Well, right, it's the expectation of sex, but you will not get it every night.
No, but when you don't get it, it's a bit of a disappointment.
Well, right. So if you know you're meeting someone for sex, and sex is on the table, and that's what we normally would meet for, because a lot of affairs, that's why sometimes affairs are very successful, because it's more physical than anything else. There's some emotional attachment, of course, there's some love involved, there's some caring and all those things, but you're meeting to have sex, and more than likely when you meet to have sex, it's going to be sex of a different nature from what you're accustomed to. And that's what you look forward to, because the person is someone different. The person is not the run-of-the-mill person who you're sleeping with every night. The person is going to bring something different to the table. He or she might be more palatable when it comes to things of a kinky nature. And that's what you look forward to.
Yeah,
That's what you want. You want to be able that when you meet with this person, that you get the best sex possible.
Yeah, because the possibility do exist. Sometimes the things that you would do with the person that you're having an affair with.
You
is
don't
something-
normally do that with your partner or
with
your
your partner.
spouse.
Exactly.
And the reason for that is because you are more than likely you are so accustomed somebody out. Yeah. You are so accustomed to getting whatever you want from your partner in terms of normal sex, everyday sex, run-of-the-mill stuff, that you take it for granted and it remains like that.
Yeah. But when you go on the outside, you're doing things that you never thought you
And
could
then your
have done.
partner is going to tell him or herself that I don't need to function special. I don't need to do things in a particular way. I don't need to spice things up. And that's where the failure of a lot of marriages and a lot of sexual relationship comes about, because you're telling yourself you don't need to spice up things. You don't need to do things in a particular way. You don't need to behave in a particular way.
But strange you mentioned that, because what do occur at times is that when you're now going out with that particular person, that is the things that they would have done at the beginning of the relationship.
And that's where a lot of times we fail, because the things that we would do when you now meet, you'll have sex in odd places, you'll have sex in the car, you'll have sex behind a building, you'll have sex in a room, you'll have sex in the cinema, you'll have sex all about the place. You'll do things differently. You'll want that spice to be there all the time. Right? So, of course, that's what you're looking for. But as time goes by and complacency sets in, very easily, you know, especially when you have a good relationship. And that's why sometimes you have persons in relationships saying, you know, my husband, he like my brother now.
Yes, it becomes a brother-sister
A brother-sister kind of thing.
Yeah. It
Come on,
happens
man.
like that,
He or she should always be your lover. That's your lover. That's your man. Use those kind of terminology in your mind. That's the man who effing me. Not, we're going to have sex. We're going to an F.
No, once again, you know, I have to go back, because that is something.
Granny told you that?
No,
Oh.
with the effing part, that comes in the first couple of years in the relationship, but then after it changes after that.
Because you want to be so clinical and you want to be so nice and you want to be so respectful of your partner that you forget there are times that you need to be disrespectful, especially when it comes to sex.
Especially as you usually mention on programs, you have to be a hoe in the bedroom.
Yes. So it's not disrespect in the sense of disrespect that you're talking down to the person or whatnot, but you're still using those spicy words and whatnot to describe what I want to do. Not let's have sex, let's go on F.
Yeah. I like that letter in the alphabet though.
F?
Yeah, food.
Oh, because it comes before G?
Yeah.
Because when you want to F, you just give?
Well,
We just get?
And the bottom line is a winner both ways.
Yes, it's but once you can understand that, here what, my partner and I, we are going to have sex, but in our sexual encounter it's going to be so fantastic that it's going to keep the spice going. So whether you talk dirty before, after, or during, whether you caress, you kiss, you engage in foreplay and whatnot, is entirely up to you, but you have to be able to take that sex into a deeper realm. Sex should not be boring. The minute sex becomes boring, yes, you have an obligation to your partner sexually.
Oh yeah.
Any two persons who's in a relationship have an obligation to your partner sexually. Therefore, what do? You have to spice that up in the best possible way. It is not just having an obligation and saying, well, here what? Yeah, we go to bed tonight, we go have some sex. No, it's what you do to drive the person to want to have sex with you. And women should stop feeling that they should not initiate sex. They should always keep in their mind that I have to make my husband horny. Although you're horny, you know, I should make him horny, yeah.
Give him that extra drive.
Push him.
Yeah.
You grab onto his penis and say, honey, I'm feeling for this tonight. How many women do that? How many women start to caress their husband and play with it and say, you ready to put it in?
Give them more incentive.
Oh, go down and give him a blowjob. Women tend not to do those things because they become so complacent in their relationship also. They think that if they do them things, their husband will look at them in a bad way. But you have to be a whore in the bedroom.
Yeah. Because in a position like that, if you don't do it, he will go outside and get someone else to
Well,
do it.
I wouldn't jump so far, Junior. I would not jump so far. what you have to look at, if you don't do that, the first thing that sets in
Yeah.
is a bit of frustration. And if he is constantly initiating the sex, and you are not doing anything to add to that, obviously he's going to look for it somewhere else later on,
right.
but not right away. Most people feel when those things happen, they go and a man is going on right away. No, it is a process. Man don't have woman line up to go on with, you know.
I don't think so. No,
Well, right.
I don't think so. Yeah.
But if it continuously happens in your home that you are not taking care of your husband, you're not providing that which he wants, you're not doing the things to spice things up and to make things different and to energize the man,
He will-
obviously he's going to
Oh, yes,
start
he's going
looking.
outside.
And once you give him the opportunity to start looking, you're looking for trouble.
Yeah.
So it's not a jump from, I get a blowjob tonight, I go on you tomorrow. It never happens like that.
You have
I
to
get a blowjob tonight, okay, she might be tired, whatever. Let me see how things go. I'll talk to she a little bit. I will tell she, well, you know, you need to do a little thing in the bedroom and whatnot. She understand me. 2-3 months go down the line. You want to do something different. Honey, let me do so and so. Nah, I have a headache. I don't want to do that. All those things brings about frustration. And not only with the woman, not only with the man, but also with the woman.
Yeah.
The very same thing happens with a woman. That is why when you are in an extramarital affair,
Yeah.
or you're horning, let me use the Trinidad word, you're horning, you're involved with someone else, what happens? You are willing to do things that you're not willing to do at home. Why? You know why? First and foremost, when you get involved with someone outside of your marriage, you feel different. All the feelings that you have when you're young and you're falling in love and you were excited to see the person and whatnot comes back. The joys of courting, the joys of wanting to be with someone comes back. Hey, when I see this man or I hear this man or I think about him again, horny. When I think about you, oh God, immediately I think hard, I'm ready to do something. That's what happens. You're thinking, as a matter of fact, most of the time, when you're in an extramarital affair and you're going to meet that person, you already pre-plan and work out everything that you're going to do, from sucking she toe to she eyebrow.
Oh, definitely.
And half the time you don't even end up doing that. Because you're so into what you want to do to this person. She's so into what she wants to do with you that everything plays off in the head, you know. Isn't that so?
Oh, yeah.
Any man or woman who has had an extramarital affair will tell you that. There is a level of excitement that comes in you that is not usually there with your husband or your wife. You're thieving a chance. Let's say you're thieving a chance with a married woman or a married man.
Yeah.
That and all adds spice to it.
Yes,
Now you're
but-
married, you know.
Yeah.
But knowing that the other person is on the other side with a similar situation, that excites you differently.
And I'll tell you something, what adds to it more is that you want to prove yourself that, hey, look, even though he or she is married, I want to do better than their
Correct.
spouse.
It's a competition in your mind.
There's a mind game.
I'm going to do things with him that your wife never do.
Yeah.
Or even if your wife do it, I'm going to do it better than her.
Yeah.
And the man thinking the same way. You
yeah,
see
you have
me
to
when
be
I done
better.
with she thinking about your husband,
Yeah.
she had to be thinking about me. That is just natural. We all compete. We all like sports. We all like competition. Who don't like to watch a game show? Why you feel people watch game show? Because they like competition. They may not be competing, but they like the competition. So mentally they're competing. They're on a team. They back in a team. Same thing with sports. So that's what you're doing. You're constantly backing things. You want to do things in a particular way where you're pushing yourself and you're going to the extreme.
Oh, yeah. You have to
And
put
you're
yourself-
willing to do things that the ordinary person will not be doing. That is what makes it so exciting. People ask why people horn. Horning and infidelity is one of the sweetest things. It's like a drug. If you're doing it with the right person, especially when there's no commitment.
Right, yeah.
If there's no commitment, it's even better. Because all it's going to be is physical. Of course, you'll have feelings for the person.
Yeah, but you won't go with someone
But
that
in
you
the
don't have
chatting that
feelings.
you're chatting with the person, or ever so often you say, babes, how you going? You pick up the phone, you call the person and whatnot. That is fine. But the excitement comes when you meet.
And especially after the person tells you, boy, you know, you do some things to me that my spouse ain't reached there.
Well, they even have to tell you that, you know. Because sometimes you don't want to compare and you don't want to remember your spouse when you're having sex. Most of the times you will not talk about what your husband doing or what your wife doing, you know. Because you might feel guilty.
Oh,
Or it might make you lose the drive or lose the excitement or something like or something of that nature. Right? But what you have to do is concentrate on the moment, what you're doing at the moment and how you're going about doing it.
and do it the best way possible.
And do it the best way possible because the excitement is there, the drive. You see, that drive, the psychological drive that you're getting there, the way you open up that brain and you push that brain, you're pushing yourself to do something that is not the norm for you. This is not your everyday behavior.
Oh,
So you don't want to remember your house, you don't want to remember your home, you don't want to remember your bedroom, you don't want to remember your husband, you don't want to remember your wife. You want to do this thing in the best possible way with this person because this person is what's driving you. He or she is what is stimulating your brain. Your mental capacity is expanding. And that mental expansion is also causing your vagina to get wet, your breasts to be sensitive, your ass to feel a certain way. You want to be touched, you want to be caressed, you want to be sucked, you want everything happening in that 5, 10, 15, 20 hour, 2 hours, minute that you're meeting with the person, you know. You want everything done. If that person's sucking you from head to toe, you want that done. You want all the sensations because the sensation in the brain is already there. The mental stimulation is already there. You know you already are doing something wrong. No two ways about that.
oh yes. Yeah.
But wrong in what sense? How wrong is it? How wrong is it? Because I want to do it. So it's wrong really.
No.
It might be wrong in the eyes of others, but you know you're going to have a good time with your man or your woman. Others might say, well, if you're doing that to your wife or you're doing that to your husband, it is the wrong thing to do. All right. Fine. But people ain't know.
No, they don't know.
And who know to hell was with them?
Oh yeah.
You have taken it upon yourself to be with this person.
Yeah.
So when you're going to meet with this person, as I say, you will already play out in your mind all the things that you want to do.
Oh yes, you're going
The
with
night before,
Oh, you're going with a plan.
you're going with a plan. I go suck him so, I go do so, I know he like that, I go do him so. Yes, I go spin him so. All these things coming up. So you already, when you meet that person, you already had sex with that person about 4 or 5 times, you know.
Oh yeah.
Now is it for it to play out.
Now is to put it into action. So you was just
So
galloping
if
before.
you let me tell you something. That is why sometimes people get caught. Because you are so excited to be with that person that you give a rat's tail about who see you. Afterwards, you go worry about that.
Yeah.
At the moment
No,
you
you-
meet,
no.
you might kiss the person. When you meet the person, you kiss them on the lip. Whap!
Yeah.
Somebody see, I know John wife, right? Oh, wait, I know John. Hey, who's that fella, boy? What they kiss so? I not a brotherly kiss. I mean, that can be a cousin kissing a cousin.
And strange enough, as soon as that finishes, as far as where the sexual part is concerned, your mind go into action. How I'll make my excuse.
Yeah, now you're looking for
No, the
because
minute- the
no,
minute
I'll
it
tell you
finishes.
another thing that happens.
Uh-huh.
You know, sometimes you end up sucking on a part of the body, so you leave a mark.
Yeah.
While that happening, you give a rat's tail about that, you know.
No, I mean,
Is afterwards you say, well, how am I going to cover this up, boy?
That
What
is-
excuse am I going to make, boy?
that is the furthest thing away from
How
your
am I
mind.
going to deal with this? But it is the passion of sex.
Yeah.
The passion of sex makes you do certain things that there's no rationale for it.
No.
And afterwards you're trying to justify what has done, or you're trying to find a way that I am going to disguise what has happened. I am going to create a story or create something that is going to cover this. So you're creating a cover now for the things that you have done.
Interesting. Yeah. Anyway, folks, taking with time 25 minutes after 9 o'clock. You're listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine. And just to remind you that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Well, I'll tell you what we are going to do. We're going to open up our lines and take your calls. For those of you who would love to interact with Dr. Raj, feel free. 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp message or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile at 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM, and we will hear it for you. Yeah.
So when sometimes you want to blame individuals for getting involved in an extramarital affair, or horning as we call it, but by nature, there are time, place, and circumstance that will cause you to do that, and you have no control over that. You can simply meet someone for a first time, and you have such strong attraction to the person that you're telling yourself, I could be with this person regardless of the consequences. You just put things aside because there is something that is happening here that did not happen before. So all of a sudden, it's excitement of being in love, the excitement of wanting to be with someone, holding that person, caressing them, kissing them, making love to them, comes back to you, and there's no better feeling than that. Think about how you felt the first time you felt in love, you fall in love.
I'm gonna bubbles in a rage.
So when you meet that person, that man or that woman that brings back that joy and that feeling, what you going to do? You're going to expand on it.
You will, yeah.
There's some people who go through with the relationship and some don't. There's some persons who can love more than one person at the same time and some who cannot do that. And don't tell me you cannot love two persons at the same time with the same intensity.
Okay. Yeah.
You could.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could.
Anytime you try to limit the human brain by thinking that the human brain cannot do that, you're in trouble, because you really don't understand the human brain. What's this called?
It's they're just showing the over 129 for 4.
How much over?
The 15.
Right. That's what I want to know.
Yeah. So, but I know you have your good stats on cricket. How?
That's
is
a
that
good score.
Is
You
that
get
score?
75 runs now. Yeah.
Okay.
15 overs, 75 runs.
75.
Yeah, that's how you have to work it out.
Okay.
And you have 2 good men there.
I'm looking at
Sixes galore. Your brothers.
2 brothers.
So, when you are channeling that energy or trying to figure out, well, why this man does horn and why that woman does horn, or why person like to get involved in these things, don't bother your brain with that. Your brain cannot comprehend that because you have limited your brain.
Okay. Yeah.
I hear people in relationship find out that their partner is cheating. They find out that their partner is cheating. And they ask themselves, why? How come? How you could do that to me? Now you bring it about you, eh? Person are doing it to you, they're doing it to themselves. They're enjoying what they're doing with themselves. Anil, thank you. But it is going to affect you. But you think, in the excitement of doing these things, wanting to be with someone, you really care about how it's going to impact on your spouse?
I don't think you would think, as you have mentioned a couple of minutes ago, you wouldn't think at the moment, but the after effect. The after effects is what
You will think about it after.
Yeah.
Not at the moment.
At the moment, no.
At the moment, it's all about you
Yeah.
and what you're getting out of it.
According to my grandmother, hell could break loose.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. And then you go on from there.
Anyway, folks, taking our time 29 minutes after 9 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. Trinidad and Tobago #1 nighttime program when it comes to sex education. with your host, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine. Well, tell you what we are going to do is take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
A wide and a free hit. Hi, Ivana, how are you, my dear? Was wondering when I'll see you. Hey, Izzy said good evening, boy.
India, located at the white tent behind KFC
Junior.
Pizza Hut Laramie.
Huh?
Izzy said good evening.
Ah, yeah, very pleasant good evening to family, man.
Full Indian food court, home decor, teak furniture, curtain and shades, garments, footwear, jewelry and much more. We are selling and credit card, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Incredible India, located at the white tent behind KFC and Pizza Hut Laramie from September 7th to 24th. Admission is absolutely free. Check us out today.
Want to get your products and services out to more customers? How about getting more people into your store? Does your brand need a boost in exposure? Then radio advertising on Power 102 is the solution you've been looking for. With packages tailored to your needs and a team to create the ideal radio ad, the choice is clear. Power 102, empowering you. So call us today at 62-POWER, that's 627-6937, and ask to speak to a client advisor about your ideas and brand. We are Power 102, empowering you and your business today. Start your weekends with Sir Charles and Calypso Classics. Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. Calypso Classics. Enjoy classics from all the greats of Calypso, Sparrow, Stalin, Kitchener, Brother, Shadow, Calypso Rose, and many more Calypso classics with Sir Charles. Calypso greats, Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. and only on Power 102. The power of Calypso.
Make this school year an epic one with back-to-school specials at Value Optical. Get the coolest eyewear with the very best in lens technology. Discounts up to 50% for your entire crew. Bring your friends and family to enjoy light, intelligent lenses. Visit us in store for details. Terms and conditions apply. Kick off the new term with back-to-school specials from Value Optical. Caring for your eyes.
Trinidad and Tobago, we're ready, standing united and moving forward as one. We're one people, one nation, and all in this together.
We are all in this together.
Let's do this with Shema Wilson on Power 102, empowering you. All inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM.
Yo, this is Marshall Montana on Power 102 FM.
With the best music and personalities to power your day. All day on a Saturday. Sir Charles, Chris, DJ Maggie, Gayland, and the ultimate DJ Shane.
This is Capri, and you're listening to Power 102.
All inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM. The power of music. All inclusive Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. all day on a Saturday on Power 102.
The United National Congress public meeting continues this Monday, the 10th of September at Union Presbyterian Primary School, that's on Hermitage Road in Clarkston Bay. Come out in your numbers from 7 p.m. and listen to presentations by Jerlene John, Dr. David Lee, and more, with the feature address by the political leader of the United National Congress and opposition leader, the Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessor. Listen to a live broadcast on power102.1fm.com and on air at Power 102.1 from 8 p.m. That was a paid political announcement.
And now on new days and at new times, the country's most informative sex education program, Sexplosion, is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj, the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think that sex is totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts in the brain. The largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
Tune in for discussion on all sexual matters. Sexplosion on Power 102, empowering you.
And we welcome you back to Sexplosion with your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine, where he do treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Now, for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone, our lines are open at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 7401961. May I remind you that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah.
And Esther says, and I believe you can do all those things and still get horn because some men are nasty, referring to what you said. Why do women think that way? Esther, well, apparently you have not, this is the first time you're listening to this program. If you've been listening to this program over the years and we have gone through all of the things that could possibly make a man horn his wife or a wife horn his husband, it has nothing to do with nastiness.
No, I don't think so. No.
It has to do with human behavior.
Bottom line.
So Esther, you're totally wrong. Totally wrong. You could tell yourself you're doing all the things that your husband like, or all the things that your wife like, but it may not be all the things that they like. You may tell yourself that you're putting out your all and you're doing your best, but it may not be your best as far as the other person is concerned. And it has nothing to do with being nasty. It has to do with expectations, wants and needs.
Yeah.
That's what it has to do with.
Because two persons don't have sex the same way.
No. And this is where the failure comes in. Sometimes you may need something and it's lacking in the relationship and you don't even know you need it until it's brought to your attention.
Yeah.
And what is bringing a lot of things to people's attention now, today, in this day and age, is technology. There are persons out there who did not know there are certain things about sex, and there's nothing new in sex. But they did not know it exists until they see it in a porn. And then they suddenly get to like it or they want it.
Or they try it and they say,
well, no, they try it yet, they only see it.
And it kind of tripped their mind.
It tripped their mind. Well, I want to try that.
Yeah.
And the wife is not willing to try it. Or the husband is not willing to try it or willing to do it. So when the people put this thing, a man is dog, a man nasty, women worse. I want to tell you, women worse.
But as you rightfully said,
any woman who said that, women are worse. And let me explain what I mean. Because a woman will use emotions now. A man will do it in physically. So which is worse? A man just doing it for physical satisfaction. It's like exercise. A woman will become emotionally attached.
Oh yeah.
So when you use those labels, I dislike it because women easy to say man nasty, a man is dog, a man is this, a man is that. But the same man they want to go and have sex with. It may not be the man you're with, Man nasty, but want to have sex with a man. Well, don't have sex with a man.
Yeah.
When they do that, it riles me up. No, it really riles me up.
Well, I can see the change.
Because you should think differently. You should think, okay, man nasty, but you want to have sex with a man. Go and have sex with a dog. If you feel a dog better than a man, go and have sex with the dog. Because they always want to label men as nasty and dogs and this and that and the other.
Yeah.
But if by nature we are programmed to be in a particular way, what you want us to do about that? Some men suppress it. Some men act upon it. Some men, their purpose is they understand their purpose and they operate accordingly. Some men don't even understand their purpose and they bat in their crease. But for those who choose not to do so, don't just condemn them. Try to figure out why. And stop putting these labels that men are dog and men are nasty.
No, I agree with you as far as where that is concerned. You cannot label people.
No.
You can't. And everybody's different. Everybody might.
Again, it comes back to what we've been talking here for years. For years, we've been talking about this. The effects that certain things have on certain people. And like I say, some men may not know certain things exist, sexually or otherwise. They come into contact with it through porn, and suddenly they are aware that these things exist, or it's normal, or it's happening. So they want to try it. Because if man wasn't experimental by nature, and when I say men, I mean both men and women, you'll never have inventions taking place in the world.
Oh, yeah.
So how the hell you could say when we see something and we want to do it, we nasty? How you could do that?
No, you can't say something like that. You can't make a statement like that.
You think the air condition came about because a man said on there and he's staying hot and he said fan me with a fan and that is good enough for that? No. He said have to have a way to cool down this place. Let me find a way to cool down the place. There are certain countries where it's real cool. Let me see how I can bring that to here. The light bulb.
Yeah.
For hundreds of years, thousands of years, people live in darkness. And all of a sudden, in the last 100 years, you have all these inventions taking place. It's because of innovation. So if our mind are innovative, and this is where people limit themselves, and they put labels, and they want to put you in a box and say, stay in a box. Yeah. Human being don't stay in a box. You take a man and you lock him up. Some of you don't even remember this. During the Vietnam War, they used to take people and bury them in a hole.
Yeah.
A 6x6 hole in the ground. War done and they're still in the hole. 20 years after, they're still in the hole. But he looking to escape, you know. He trying to find a way to escape from there, you know. No matter what, he trying to find a way
to get out.
To get out. All you know what war picture? When you lock up a man in a place. I watched a movie the other day, a man walk up a woman in a room. Totally soundproof. And that woman digging out the tiles with her finger, you know. She digging out the tiles with her finger, you know. Think about that then. Tiles, you know.
As you mentioned that, I don't want to stray a little bit, but I don't know if you saw this story about this guy in Brazil. It took him 5 years to try to get out of jail by digging out, yeah.
Of course.
And when eventually he got out in the security room.
He escaped into the security room. But at least he trying. But human nature is for you to do these things. So if sex is our one driving force that motivates us, and there are different things to do with sex, why should we not be motivated to do these things? Why should we limit ourselves as to what we're doing sexually?
Drop.
That should never happen. Not the catcher.
Well, I can tell you that you are making radio an experience by itself when you are listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan. This program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are there for advice. Now, for those of you who would like to interact with Dr. Raj, he's taking your calls at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. For those of you sending in WhatsApp messages and your text messages, you can also send it to his private mobile at 740-1961. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining, exclusively on Power 102 FM.
Pleasant good night, Alison. I haven't seen you in a very long time. How are you, my dear? Haven't seen Alison in such a... You know Alison? I think you met Alison already. Yes.
I did?
Yeah, from Shaguanas.
Okay.
So, when you put those labels on your spouse, and you start limiting what your spouse could think, or how he and she should think, and you think that you're the best coxman in the world, and you have everything under control, and she should only like your thing, you are limiting the human mind. Don't for 1 minute think that your wife or your husband will not see something or see someone that is going to stimulate them, you know.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what age, you know. No matter what age, no matter what temple they're going to, what church, or how you feel have them locked down or whatever, they will find, no, they're seeking, they're not searching for it, but that one individual will come in front of them and they're like,
Yeah.
like I was explaining to someone when we were going to the cricket on, when was it? Wednesday night was the cricket. People don't set out to horn, you know. Generally, you know. but they will find themselves in a circumstance, in something. One of the things that attract a lot of women is power. Power. A powerful man,
Yeah.
a leader. Watch any one of those leaders in the world. Forget Trinidad. And you will see the kind of women that gravitate towards them. Women will do any... I tell you, I saw that in 1981. Sparrow came to perform in Miami at a hotel. I think it was the Ambassador Hotel. And these two ladies were talking about Sparrow coming, take that call.
Okay. Hi, hello, and welcome to Sexplosion. Video they left us 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Those are the numbers for those of you who would love to interact with Dr. Raj. Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the talk in school, but it was two elderly women. So I listened. Because I was the only young person in school. I was 17 years of age. Everyone else in school was 35 and above. So I cock up my ears and I listening. So afterwards, I couldn't take it. So I asked the ladies, I said, what's the Sparrow thing about? Who's the Sparrow? They say, he's a Calypsonian from Trinidad. They didn't know I was from Trinidad. So I said, okay. So I asked them, where? They say, Ambassador Hotel. So I decided to go. And if you think Elvis Presley was big, I see women take out their bra and panty and pelt it on stage for him. What is that? Isn't that an invitation you could have me?
Oh, yeah.
When a woman could take out her underwear and throw it on the stage or throw it at you, that is telling you whatever it was encased in that or locked up in that is yours. A man of power. Any man of power will tell you that. Women gravitate towards that. Success. They like that. And what you say, women nasty because of that? No. By nature, they are like that. Why you feel women run down politicians and all these things?
You can't make a statement like that.
Have you ever been involved in politics?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
At any level?
No.
You want to see women running down, man? Get involved in it.
In politics?
What?
Well, I hear...
No, I'm telling you. I'm not asking you that.
No, I know.
There are women who come around.
I've heard stories.
There are women who, but I wasn't heavily involved in politics.
Yeah, well, I know that for a fact.
There are women who come around there. They don't care what position you have. Once you are there in the circle, the inner circle, man, you could get what you want.
You have an idea of the score there, right?
No.
Okay, it's 160 for 4, 17-2. How are we moving? Good. Nice, right.
But there are women who gravitate towards that, and what you going to do? Blame them? No. There are those who will batter their crease, sit down with their husband at home, watch a powerful man on screen, and long for him, you know. But she is showing an emotion that she like him, you know.
No.
But she okay. Let me give you a good example. I have a neighbor. He like nothing about cricket. Knows nothing about cricket. My husband and I will be chatting about that. Shah Rukh Khan come in Trinidad, all of a sudden she want to go cricket. Raj, you have ticket?
But don't know nothing about cricket.
She ain't going cricket to see anybody but Shah Rukh Khan. And she made it known. She said, I want to go and see Shah Rukh Khan. Jump high, jump low. This is a powerful actor, a Bollywood actor who she knows. Now, there are some women who will take that to the idea. That's why you have in the States, what they call them, groupies. All these bands and all these celebrities. They have people that follow them around, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That's why when you hear things about like Mike Tyson with rape and all that thing, you have to take that with a pound of salt, you know. You have to take that with a pound of salt because they're looking to make money off of you now.
Because even recently, before he retired, Kobe was involved in a case like that.
Yeah.
And eventually, he won his case because...
But you just win your case, you know. You just come out on top because then people know these things, you know. But you know the problem is that your name tainted.
Oh, yeah.
Your name tainted.
That's the dumb.
I'll give you a story. 2 years ago, there was a cricket match in LA. The Stars was playing the Stars. That is I forget how the two teams, one from India, one from Australia. But they had a lot of foreign cricketers playing. Brian Lara, of course, was playing. I was in LA, I called Brian. I said, Brian, what hotel is staying at? He says, so. I said, I'm coming to meet you. He said, no problem, come down and we go lime a little bit near my son. Go on. When I enter that hotel, mister, tell me where to park and what. When I entered that hotel, there was about 2,000 people in that lobby. When I called his room, he said, coming down to meet you. I said, not down here. I said, if you come down here, no, you can't go back upstairs. And the amount of people that have here. Women who know nothing about cricket was there. It has people see me talking to him and come to me for autograph. They know me for jack nothing. Because we met in the 3rd floor. But that's what celebrity life brings. A celebrity, a politician, an entertainer. That is what their life brings because of the power. So what you will say about those women who will willingly... That woman is a faint when Elvis Presley only watched them, you know.
Oh, yeah. But the same thing with Michael.
Same thing with Marshall.
Because...
Forget Michael, Marshall.
Well, yeah.
And they know they have that power. It is a powerful thing.
Yeah, because even recently there, I saw a video there with Kes. And I mean, these women...
Oh, we flew up on the same flight 2 weeks ago.
These women were, I mean, crazy.
Yes.
I mean...
And there's nothing wrong with that. Because women gravitate towards power. A man of power always gets a woman's attention.
168 for 4. 18th over.
Yeah, 2 more overs.
Yeah.
Like 30 runs. Fall short a little bit.
Sound like an account. Anyhow, you're an accountant as well.
So you can't judge people based on your limitations.
No, yeah.
And many a times that's what we do. We judge things, situation, persons, behavior, actions, thought, based on our limitation. But when you think of the human mind and the capacity that it has for things of a sexual nature and the power that it brings to you, you will understand things differently. I have been fortunate in this life to rub shoulders with a lot of celebrities in different realms. And when you hear them talk, it's not a boastful way of talking about these things. They tell you about the reality of their life. The reality of their life. In the sporting field, entertainment field, singing, whatever. I have rubbed shoulders with them. Spent time with them. Intimately talking with them. And you see it. I tell you, I lined me with a celebrity once. Having dinner. This man just get up and go on in the toilet and get a blowjob from a woman who passing across him. From both of them who was walking across him. He just turned to me, he said, I'm coming back now. I said, where you going? He said, I'm going right now. I said, where you going for? He said, I'll tell you when I get back.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 6 minutes before 10 o'clock. Knowledge and experience, this is what it's all about. When you are on the inside of Trinidad and Tobago, #1, longest nighttime running program, Sexplosion, with their host, Dr. Raj of Total Imaging, the Adult Therapy Center out of St. Augustine. I'll tell you what we are going to do is go for a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Incredible India, located at the white tent behind KFC and Pizza Hut Laramie from September 7th to 24th. Once a year only. Come and shop in AC Comfort, full Indian food court, home decor, teak furniture, curtain and shades, garments, footwear, jewelry and much more. We accept Wings and credit card, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Incredible India, located at the white tent behind KFC and Pizza Hut Laramie from September 7th to 24th. Admission is absolutely free. Check us out today.
Want to get your products and services out to more customers? How about getting more people
Where's
into
this
your
going on?
store? Does your brand need a boost in exposure?
170 for
Then
4.
radio advertising on Power 102
18
is the
point one.
solution you've been looking for. With packages tailored to your needs and a team to create the ideal radio ad,
They're
the
showing you
choice is
highlights.
clear. Power 102, empowering you.
They're going
So
on,
call
they're
us
going
today
good.
at 62-POWER. That's 627
You're taking back the
6937
thing, right?
and ask to speak to a client advisor about your ideas and brand.
Your handmade cup, or what you want me to do?
Empowering you and your business today.
Anyway, say junior year
Start
something.
your weekends with Sir Charles and Calypso Classics. Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. Calypso Classics. Enjoy classics from all the greats of
There you
Calypso,
go.
Sparrow, Stalin, Kitchener, Rodder,
Sit around, Gurbai.
Calypso Rose, and many more Calypso classics with Sir Charles. All the Calypso greats, Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. and only on Power 102. The power of Calypso.
His teeth is nice. Hot and
Make this
nice.
school year an epic one.
Over hot.
Back to
Yeah,
school
it's really
specials at
good.
Value Optical. Get the coolest
So
eyewear
much
with
looking
the very
good.
best in lens technology. Discounts up to
Holy
50%
crap.
for your entire crew. Bring your friends and family to enjoy light
drop that, babe?
intelligent lenses. Visit us in store for details. Terms and conditions apply. Kick off the new term with back to school specials from Value Optical. Caring for your eyes.
Trinidad and Tobago, we're ready, standing united and moving forward as one. We're one people, one nation, and all in this together.
We are all in this together.
Let's do this with Shema Wilson on Power 102, empowering you.
There's up 3 catches from him.
The Reggae Ride.
May want to die.
Every Saturday
172
from
for
6 to
4,
10 p.m.
16.
on Power 102.
No, 18.5. Yeah, he's going, boy. 172 is a decent score.
The Reggae Ride with
Yeah, on that wicket here.
The Barbados doesn't really have nobody down really.
Forget that, but on that wicket,
On
there's a
this
good
wicket?
score. You have to watch your wicket. What is possible. Anybody can make any score in T20, you know.
for some soothing reggae
Okay,
music.
just to get another 4.
4 or 6. I'll take a 6.
From the old to the new, we play only the best.
The biggest party in sport is back.
That is right.
The Reggae Ride, Saturdays from 6 to 10 p.m. on Power 102, empowering you. All inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM.
Yo, this is Marshall Montana on Paul 102 FM.
With the best music
Can't do
and
this,
personalities to power your day.
Watch it.
On a Saturday, Sir Charles, Chris, DJ Maggie, Gaylan, and the ultimate DJ Shane.
This is Capri, and you're listening to Power 102.
All inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM. The power of music. All inclusive Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. all day on a Saturday on Power 102.
The United National Congress public meeting continues this Monday, the 10th of September at Union Presbyterian Primary School, Hermitage Road in Clapston Bay. Come out in your numbers from 7 p.m. and listen to presentations by Geraldine John, Dr. David Lee, and more, with a feature address by the political leader of the United National Congress and opposition leader, the Honorable Kamala Prasad-Bissessar. Listen live on power102fm.com and on air at Power 102 FM from 8 p.m. That was a paid political announcement. Well, taking return, it's now 10 o'clock in Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago #1 nighttime program when it comes to sex education. Sexplosion with your host, Dr. Raj Ramdanan of Total Imaging, the Adult Therapy Center out at St. Augustine, where he do treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Now, for those of you who would love to interact with him, maybe something sexual on your mind might be bothering you. Here are a couple of numbers, 222-8255, also at 612-8255. For those of you sending in WhatsApp messages and text messages, you can also do that on his private mobile at 740-1961. This program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah, and we were speaking about celebrities and you know, how
Sex.
they are
And women
how they
gravitating towards them,
they
or men
throw
gravitating towards
themselves in.
celebrities.
Yeah.
Today I was explaining to someone, there is a celebrity that in my mind she's the sexiest ever, and she will always be. And I had the opportunity to meet her, and I refused to go and meet her.
You refuse.
I refuse.
But
I refuse to go meet her.
That's an opportunity a lot of people wouldn't really think in
but
terms of turning down.
I knew if I had gone,
Yeah.
I might have said or done something really stupid.
Well, knowing you, I don't think it would have been stupid, but on the other
Well, maybe in other people's eyes. So I decided not to go.
So in other words, what you did was played it safe.
Yeah. Anyone can be trapped in that. And I'll tell you something. You could be a celebrity in a obscure way. Let's say an artist, painter. There are people who will gravitate towards that and know all about you, and you will have no idea that they know everything about you. And there's somebody who's going to pick up on your photograph on papers and say, this is Junior Saldana, this famous artist. And all of a sudden she starts cutting out all your clippings and things, and she have it on her wall. And you don't even know that. There are persons who are religious leaders in our society. They have to be strong spiritually and physically.
Yeah.
Just to ward off that, or to keep that out of. Because there are women who are willing to do wrong things with you.
Well,
or step out.
I've heard about people, you know, as they say, possessed with other people, and the same thing you mentioned, they have pictures of them on a private wall.
But I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. There's one movie star who's my all-time favorite movie star. I think I told the story already. His name is Archibald Leach. I'm using his real name because a lot of people wouldn't know his real name.
Yeah.
And he was coming to a university in Florida to do a lecture on his acting career. Now this is the man who acted with every leading ladies from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Every leading actress wanted to act with this man. I was the only young person in that crowd, front seat. Because I wanted to see this man, meet this man, and listen to him.
So you made sure.
His name is Cary Grant.
Oh, Gary.
Cary Grant.
Cary Grant, yeah.
His acting name is Cary Grant, Archibald Leach.
Excellent.
Excellent is not the word.
Excellent actor.
Par excellent. Excellent is not the word to describe him and his acting. He's beyond that. Beyond that. But you should have seen, and this is after he had retired from acting. Years after, he was now a gray hair man, old man, almost in his 80s, doing a lecture circuit, and the place was packed.
Yeah, but some of them, I mean, guys like him, and this other gentleman, superstar actor, Humphrey Bogart.
You know, Robert Reynolds, what's his name?
Robert Redford?
No.
Who is that?
Burt Reynolds died today.
Yeah, yes.
Is yesterday or today?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, at 82.
82.
Yeah.
Fantastic actor.
Oh, yeah.
Really funny.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really funny.
Yeah.
And the man who made Cosby famous, you know.
Yeah.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit, yeah. Was a superstar.
Yep.
I think he was once married to, was it, no, I don't think it was Farrah Fawcett. Somebody.
Lee Majors was married to Farrah Fawcett.
There's some other, but anyhow.
But it goes to show you that no matter who you are, once you have position and power, there are persons who will see that position and power and will be willing to go to bed with you because of the position and power that you have. And that is what you call human nature and human behavior. Because women look for quality. They have been programmed to look for quality. Their brain is programmed for that. They want the best of the lot. In the caveman day, they want the strongest man. They want the man with the biggest club. They want the man who are the biggest cave. They want the man biggest, baddest.
So that started
way back when.
Way back in
because
time.
women are programmed for that. We are programmed for quantity. We don't care about quality. We want quantity as much as possible.
Yeah.
That's how man's brain is programmed. We want as much as possible.
I'm trying to get the final score for you, but
But women brain are programmed to look for quality.
quality.
Equality in the man. Whatever those qualities are. He's a successful businessman. He's a successful politician. He's a successful carpenter. He's a successful joiner. They're women. All these men of success have women line up in their own way for them, you know.
Yeah.
Women go for men in uniform. That is a given. Watch any movie based on that. They'll show you the psychological effect it have that uniform has on a woman.
But what gives them that? What gives them that extra? What really draws
They're
them?
looking for quality. So what do you equate quality to? A quality man is a successful man. He have riches. How many women you know when you were growing up? Right? Well, I don't know if they had these in Belmont because you were from the river. I don't know.
Yeah, we had a lot of.
They had cars around in Belmont in those days?
We had celebrated. We had look.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
As a matter of fact, it's
because I know all your masks used to come out on all used to push it, you know.
But the top steel man in Trinidad and Tobago right now.
No, well, I
Mr.
know
Belmont.
that. I know that. But what I'm
Behind the
asking,
bridge.
but I'm asking the question is a simple question.
Yeah, what's the
I don't know if it
question?
had cars in them days.
We had
In Belmont.
We had when I moved into Belmont, they had trolley bus.
Anyway, I'm just making a joke with you. But
I know.
the seriousness of this is how many women you know have gas brain. A man with a nice car
Oh yeah.
will get her attention faster with a man with a old car.
Yeah.
That alone should tell you the quality. You pull up, and I have seen many videos done where guys who are very successful and whatnot pull up in an ordinary vehicle, and the woman think he's ordinary and just don't give him the time of the day. And the driver of the car that is going to drive him around gets the attention of the woman because she feels that is his car.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Well, right. So what does
agree
that
with
tell you about women?
I agree with that.
But what
100%.
does that tell you about the psychological part of women when it comes to sex and psychology?
They want to go with someone that is.
They
very,
look
very
for
successful.
success. They look for success and money. Success equates money, you know.
Yeah, because they think if you're driving a big car, you're in a financial position.
Correct.
They think you're well.
There's a guy who calls the Thursday program called Lakshman, who took a woman home by him because you have a nice fancy house. We had to warn him that it's not a good thing to do.
Oh yeah, I remember.
We had to seriously warn him about that because that is not a good thing to do. Because when the woman see your wealth and see your success, she's going to try to find a way to take that away from you or to get part of it. And it may even include a crime to do it.
I remember him calling in on one of the programs where he said he met her and he brought her home.
Hey Lendell, how you doing? Back home? Call me tomorrow. Right?
And I remember I remember him calling in and saying that he met this person and he brought them home, and as a matter of fact the advice that you gave him, she wanted to bring someone there.
But because all women are programmed to look for the best. They're programmed to look for the best. But not all of them implement that, you know. Some suppress it. Some control it. Some bat within their crease. Some don't behave in that way because they learn different things because based on their education, based on their upbringing, their values. But most women, you'll see, it's very easy. It's very easy to fool a woman with these things, you know. The trappings. They look at that and they say, that's the man I want. You might have a nice car, but you might not have a home to go home. There are some fellas out there have a car and they have a garage to park it in, you know.
Yeah. No, that's a fact.
They buy the car and then they look into build a garage. It's come like the Galleon Passage.
Yeah.
We buy a boat and then we looking to find a place to park it, you know. That's typical, you know. No, you laugh at that, but that's typical. That's typical of some people's behavior. Before we build a home, build a house, create a home, and the environment to put the things in, you're going to buy a car first.
Yeah. Some people are like that.
but you have no way to park the car. So you buy a boat and you know the boat can dock. What kind of thinking is that? Dotish. Totally dotish. But the women now who are attracted to those things, go for it. Ask any sportman, ask any celebrity what happens. You don't encourage it, you know. It just comes at you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It comes at you no matter where you go, you see it happening. You know as a person have to know how to control, deal with it. Deal with the issues. Not get carried away by it. Some people get carried away by it and go down the wrong road.
Yeah, I know that for a fact. But and then you have the others that have full control of themselves. Because I've seen popular footballer Ronaldo and these guys.
Right.
You know, they have.
They don't behave. But it does not mean to say that in their private life they may be doing other things. You know, but they keep it on the down low.
It's the same thing like these popular basketball and baseball players.
Yeah.
You know, anyway, and then when you think it in terms, as if you're looking at it from an athlete point of view, most of these players are away from their spouses because they're playing games in different cities.
I met 2 girls in Florida watching cricket, liming and thing. So they said, we come in Trinidad, you know. I said, for what? They say, Chris Gale playing in Trinidad, you know. I say, yeah, there's a match in Trinidad. He says, if you be coming for? I say, you serious? You live in Florida to come to Trinidad to see Chris Gale?
Well,
they say, anyway, Chris Gale playing them, go in.
Well,
what you going to do about that?
No, they have people like that travel around no matter where they are.
Well, right. So you have that. The very same way you have men, and people are saying men are foolish and they're thinking with their other head. But we are programmed to look for quantity, and women look for quality.
Anyway, folks, taking return 12 minutes after 10 o'clock, you are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM, the guru of sex education, the only one in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine, and where he do treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Just to remind you that our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a text message or a WhatsApp message, you can also do that on his private mobile 7401961. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining exclusively on Power 102 FM.
No, this is not putting down anyone, you know. The programming of the human mind, the DNA didn't start with your mother and father, you know. DNA start with the dawn of man, whenever that was. Whatever religion you belong to and whatever your belief system is, it started with that. Whether you believe all human race come from one couple, or there were other beings that were on this earth that propagated the earth. Whether you believe that or whatever. But that's where your DNA implantation came from. And there's no getting around that. It is there. So that programming is there from birth in the womb. In the womb it starts there. And if you think, just as a human being think that this is everything, the fetus in the womb will think that that is everything, the whole world, you know. It has nothing else after that, you know. And don't feel the fetus cannot think, it have a brain. It may not be thinking the way we thinking because our thinking is based on our education and our exposure and whatnot. But the limits of the thinking of the fetus in the womb is, as far as it is concerned, the entire world centers around this sack filled with water that I am floating in, and that's life. That's the end of it. There's nothing else after this. And what comes after? Birth. And then suddenly there's light, and suddenly there's breath, and the umbilical cord no longer feeds you. You're free of the trapping of the womb, and you become alive. So when we are alive as human beings now, we think that this is it. There's nothing else after this. There's only heaven and hell. but there's much more after this.
Some people think life starts after death.
Yes. Because it is not the life that we know. The same way the fetus came into this world from that dark sack of water, of fluid, existing in that. The very same way our existence here on this earth, in this body, and this body is only a vessel, that's all it is, a vessel to carry the soul. At the end of the expiration of the body, the vessel, the soul lives on. You know? The soul lives on. But it does not live in the way we want it to live or think that it lives. It will not take this body form, it will not take this form. It will take another form.
Is it, you know, you mentioned that, and it's the same thing. You know, some people will tell you that they go to a certain place and they tell you, somehow, like I've been here before.
Déjà vu.
Yeah, like I've passed here before. The place looks familiar.
But they've never been there.
But they've never been here. It's going for the first time.
Yeah, well, that's what they call déjà vu.
Déjà vu. Does that have anything to do with a life before? Or
It could have.
is it possible?
It cannot be explained in the normal sense.
But have you,
In a spiritual way, yes.
have you ever
Of
experienced
course,
something like
many
that?
times.
No. Yeah.
Many times you go to a strange place and you
It
oh, wait a
looks-
minute.
It looks
I know
very-
here.
Yeah.
Why do I know here? How come I know it have this here?
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it. The reality of this life is of experiences. We come here with experience, we gain experience here, and we're going to leave this life with much more experience.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, 16 minutes after 10 o'clock, Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. We're going for a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
This is Power 102, empowering you.
Incredible India, located at the white tent behind KFC and Pizza Hut Laramie from September 7th to 24th. Once a year only. Come and shop in AC Comfort, full Indian food court, home decor, teak furniture, curtain and shades, garments, footwear, jewelry.
Okay, they're back here now.
We have some ways
5 for none.
a.m. to 9 p.m. Incredible India, located at the white tent behind KFC and Pizza Hut Laramie from September 7th.
Let me mark this thing off.
Admission is absolutely free. Check us out today.
Want to get your products and services out to more customers? How about getting more people into your store? Does your brand need a boost in exposure? Then radio advertising on Power 102 is the solution you've been looking for. With packages tailored to your needs and a team to create the ideal radio ad, the choice is clear. Power 102, empowering you. So call us today.
Hey, how many girls are going, boy?
That's
Which one?
627-6936.
My little friend.
To speak to a client
She's still with you there?
about your ideas
don't know
and
which
The little one
talking
who
about?
always the only glasses, who always bowling.
empowering you and your
Yeah,
business today.
Roma? See there.
Start your weekends with St. Charles and Calypso Classics.
But I know the other one, not with you said left. The one who used to look like family. Who used to look like Archangel.
From all the greats of Calypso's.
Who boyfriend wanted to come here and fight you down.
Calypso Rose and many more.
When the boyfriend come and you had a little...
St. Charles.
Huh? Oh. Are you gonna have a...
All the Calypso
I think
races
I'm
Saturday mornings, 7 to 9
No.
and only on Power 102. The power of Calypso. Trinidad and Tobago, we're ready, standing united and moving forward as one.
You don't go to none of the parades and thing they have.
And all in this together.
Boy, Pan on the Avenue was great.
Well, I normally will go to that, but I
That
was.
was... I remember once I went and you all were having lunch.
Dinner.
Or dinner. You were having dinner at...
That time Archangel was here.
Yes. I think that was it. No, she came after that. She came after that.
No, that was the weekend before she wedded.
Oh. Okay. Oh yes. Yes.
That was the
Join us for some soothing reggae music on a Saturday.
Real reggae music.
The Reggae Ride.
You had real fun that night. Oh my God.
but that was that
On to the news. We play only the best.
that it was good to see her, boy. It was good.
The Reggae Ride. Saturdays from 6 to 10 p.m. on Power 102.
Yeah, but you heard from Marisa, you see her from all the time.
Saturdays on Power 102 FM.
She's in Atlanta.
With the best
Chicago.
music and personalities to
Oh God, the killing people they like fly. The bad I know.
Sir Charles, Chris,
It is bad in Chicago.
and their
Real
ultimate
bad.
DJ Shane.
This is Capri and
These kill children, so many people a day, man. No, I see yes.
A day?
I'm telling you.
Nah.
Not but family. Chicago.
Detroit.
Chicago bad boy.
200 people in a day.
No, what I'm saying, 200 people in about a month.
Yeah.
Saturdays from 6 a.m.
In a month,
Yeah, not a day.
in a month time.
I know.
But
Powering you.
Once she says that is all I
no,
get.
but Chicago is terrible, man.
New Times, the country's most informative
They're
sex
giving
education program, Sexplosion.
when you're looking at the news, they give Chicago a bad rating.
From 9 p.m. to midnight.
Most killing in the United States. When coming to states,
In the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think
Chicago.
that sex is totally below the waist.
Why
It
know
is
we have
not
it rough
below
here
the
by
waist.
staying
It
here?
starts in the brain. Your largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
Tune in for discussion on all sexual matters. Sexplosion on Power 102. Empowering you.
Well, I can tell you that when it comes to nighttime radio, we are always one step ahead with a beautiful blend of sex education here on Power 102.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out of St. Augustine, where he treats all sexual dysfunctions. Now, for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone, our numbers here, 222-8255, also at 612-8255. For those of you sending in WhatsApp messages on his private mobile, you can do that 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM, and we will hear it for you. Yeah.
So when you think and you limit yourself to certain things, and this is where belief and spirituality comes in. Everything has a beginning and it has an end. But the end that we look at and we think that this is the end of it, it's not really an end. It may be a beginning of something else. So that's why when you study the spiritual side of things and you look for the education in it and you look for the information and the philosophy, that's why, again, I come back to Sanatana Dharma. We have something called the Garud Puran that explains what happens to the soul after you die. That's why even other religion, when they talk about you want to become one with God, that's the concept. The immersion of your soul back to the super soul. So all the little things and the fine trappings that we have here and things, it's rooted in the DNA because I flesh and blood. So the behavior and things that we do is based on that. The soul doesn't control those behaviors, you know.
No?
No. Your soul do not control those behavior. You are the vessel by which the soul exists. What you do enriches the soul. Your behavior, the things that's why persons will bring morality into their life. They'll bring religion and spirituality into their life. To enrich their soul, to do good. By nature, doing good. And good could come in many forms. Good could come in many forms, but yet still those same individual may have a longing or feelings for someone else other than who they're married to. But they are a good person, generally.
Never thought about it on that level.
Well, that is why I'm here, to explain these things to people. You think it's only bad people that just do these things? Now, some person will say, they're taught of doing something is as good as committing the sin.
Yeah, but some people, yeah.
Well, right.
Some people would say that. Yeah.
But how are you going to control your thought, mister? When the brain controls you? You don't control your brain, you know. You think you could control your brain?
No, I mean... The brain,
stay there and don't think about anything. You could do that?
Never happened.
Well, right.
Never happened.
The brain controls you. You do not control your brain. And if you're programmed in your brain to act and behave in a certain way,
yeah,
that's what you're going to do. You could control the behavior. Because many a times you think about killing somebody because they do you wrong or they do you bad. A person bad drive your bike, lick up your mother ass for that. And then what happened? You boil long like Baji.
Yeah.
Because you know you really are going to do that.
But just at
But there are some persons who act on it. They get that thought in their head and pull out a gun and bust 2 shots.
Yeah. Without thinking.
Without thinking. Because the anger come over them.
And strange, when the act is finished, you
then
regret,
there's the remorse.
Yeah, you regret what
remorse
you did.
comes in.
Yeah, but then again, it's too late.
It's too late.
So what you're basically saying, you have to control.
You control your behavior and you control your control the results of your thoughts. The thought will always come in. If I have a man or a woman out there who could honestly put up their hand and tell me they never thought about having sex with somebody other than the person they're married to, or if they're not married, having sex with someone. And if there's a person out there that exists like that, come to me. I would really like to meet you.
I can't see that.
No, you cannot be a human being and not have sexual thoughts. Impossible.
Well, as you always say in the past, you know, sex basically becomes life.
But sex is life. Sex is what have you here. Reproduction, replication of you.
With sex.
Sex. Feelings.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, 28 minutes after 10 o'clock. You are listening to the magic of sex education on Power 2.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj Ramanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center of St. Augustine. Folks, our lines are open. If you would love to interact with him, maybe, you know, sometimes something might be.
We have heard from her for a while.
Wow, yes.
Yes, so.
Quite some time, yeah.
Welcome back, Shivani.
With open arms. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, you have anything?
Some have too many sexual thoughts at once. That's right. You know, when you find yourself in a situation where you have encountered someone that is on the same wavelength with you as it pertains to your sexual thought, it could really drive you crazy. It could open up a realm that you yourself didn't know existed. And that is where it becomes frightening if you don't know how to manage that. Because like I say, if you're going through this life vanilla, blasé, you're not aware of all these things. You're not aware. So if you're not aware, you're not aware. It doesn't exist. But the minute you become aware,
it's a different kettle of
and
fish.
the minute you find someone to open that up and to bring it out, bring it forth, and massage that, you have to put a tight rein not to go crazy and go out and do things crazy, you know. Man or woman, you know. And that's where you as a person have to be careful. Because sometimes both parties get carried away. That's why people get caught up in sexual acts and sexual behavior and things of a deviant nature. And they get so caught up in it that they don't look at the ramifications of what they're doing. and they end up doing a lot of wrong.
So they go into it blind.
They go to it without control,
Yeah.
blindly, and they blindly then they blinded.
That's a lot of trouble.
So many times you have to mash bricks, look at things, reassess it.
I like that word, reassess.
You have to reassess.
You have to reassess too, yeah.
You have to figure out, well, where do I go with this? What do I do?
Where do I take it to the next level?
How do I take it to the next level? What are the safety factors? What are the ramifications of it? How it's going to affect me? How it's going to affect those around me? How it's going to affect my partner? What strength it's going to bring? Because there are things that could strengthen you and there are things that could weaken you also. The wrong things will weaken you and the good things will strengthen you.
So you have to balance things.
You have to balance
You have to balance it off.
Now there are some persons in a relationship, they're married, they're living with their spouse, and they keep things on it at a certain level and they're happy with that and they're done with that. They don't need to expand on it further.
Yeah, but you don't.
They live in that bubble and that bubble is good enough.
Yeah, but you don't think in a position like that, where they leave it at that level, sometime down the road, I mean, you would need to go that extra. You will go through your whole lifestyle with,
There are those who go through their entire life in this cocoon and thinks that's what it is. And that's as much as sex and fantasy and behavior and the experiment with sex goes. It's just limited to that and it's done right there. It ain't going further than that.
I want to stray a little bit here on you.
Sure, you go ahead and stray.
If a couple is going through the experience of, let's say you're married about 8 or 10 years, and your marriage is at one level, there's no improvement. There's pornography could improve that style.
Anything could spice up your marriage.
Could spice up
anything could spice up your marriage. Long ago, people would read book forums and whatnot.
Yeah.
Or they would buy magazines with pictures to spice up their sex life. Lots of time, the men would be more involved in it and the women may be less involved. Sometimes the women would be more interested in the reading aspect of it, the novels. So that was one area of expanding and spicing things up. Yes, pornography could be used as a tool, but pornography generally is not an educational tool. It should not be used as an educational tool because it could be very misleading.
Yeah, because some people might tell you, you know, I have seen something in pornography that I never thought I could have experienced that with my partner.
And so true. But that what you see in pornography is for entertainment purpose. It does not mean to say that if you encounter it or if you see it, that it's not going to affect you mentally and put thoughts into your head. That, hey, these things exist, suddenly I'm aware of it, and maybe it's a nice thing to try.
Yeah, because...
But that's as far as the education is concerned, and that's where it stops.
Yeah.
Because now you have to take the information that you have and put it to use in your life and how it's going to work for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. As a matter of fact, as we know,
If you think that, you
that.
continue, one of the major problems we have in society today is the amount of persons who have been indoctrinated into sex through porn, and they're really messed up, you know. And I shudder to think, with all this technology and all the things that are happening now in life, and all the innovations and things that are coming along, what would happen to the next generation? You know? Because porn is what is driving a lot of people, and they're taking it as sex education. You know? And sometimes their first insight into porn may be something of a perverted or kinky or fetish nature. And that is what will be their introduction to sex, and that will determine how they behave sexually. If a man watch a rape scene in porn, and he's turned on by that, he's going to seek out more and more rape scene, and he will think rape is normal for sex, And there's so many.
So it all depends on the individual, how they soak it in.
It all depends on not only the individual and how they soak it in, but the introduction into porn. Your introduction to porn or sex through porn will determine your behavior.
You hear people getting hooked on porn. What are the steps that they take? Because if you're watching a porn and next thing you know, you want to watch every minute, every hour, what drives a person? Because basically the actions, you see the same, basically the same thing, but it's just different faces and different faces. What drives a person that, hey, look, I cannot go through a day without, because you have
because if it is a fetish, a particular fetish, for example, let's say the fetish is of big boobs. There are many different types of porn that features big boobs. That's what you're going to be seeking out. There are men who masturbate to porn or watch porn, and they don't have one browser open, They have 4 and 5 browsers open. They're switching from one thing to the other thing to the other thing to the other thing, They're starting to read, They're only watching. Remember, we're visually stimulated. So they're only starting to watch big boobs, Fat nipples, pumped up vaginas. Whatever your fetish is or whatever you were introduced to in porn, that's what you're going to go down. And then you're going to look to the deviant side of that. You might look for women with big boobs who are being tortured. Their boobs are being tortured. And that will turn you on, sticking pins in the boob, tying the boob up until they get blue-black, whipping the boobs. There are so many variety of things in sex. In one particular fetish, you have 10 and 12 different areas that you could go deep into it,
Yes, but what drives a person to, if you are at your job and you have to take time.
Did you listen to me last night when I said gambling is a worse addiction than alcohol?
No, I didn't.
Porn addiction is worse than all of them.
Because I knew of a friend and she...
Normally, when is a friend is you, so careful.
No, this girl, and she, like every day, when I used to work at the mall, I won't call the particular store, but every lunchtime and 3 o'clock, she had to masturbate. She'd go to the back and had to, and I say, family, what? She say, family, I just
if she masturbate, she go crazy.
I have to do it. She said, because if I don't, when people come into the store,
I'll snap at them.
I would, and that was the bottom line. And I couldn't figure out how someone could get so deep.
She needed a relief. I deal with a lot of individuals who have been introduced to sex through porn. And the introduction, long ago, the introduction to sex was a neighbor, a friend of the family, a family member. You're looking at an immediate family member in a sexual way. And that is not weird or untrue, That is how the brain is wired. Our first form of nutrients and pleasure, which is a sucking pleasure, is your mother's breast.
Right here.
And there's a whole Freudian theory on that. If you study Freud, you'll understand that. And it's there. Now, some persons might refuse it and say, "I rubbish." Fine. But it is a theory. And it is a theory that has been proven. Sometimes a person might put up that information in an interview or whatever, just as I put out the information about the percentage of Trinidad men that horn. And somebody say, "What rubbish I talking? What a clown said." But they don't understand that I have factual information. It's fact. I'm not making something up. So there are individuals out there that has a lot of information about certain things. There are those who come up with theories, and it becomes part of life. because they understand that part of life. But now, with the easy access of, and they've taken it down the route where you have different fetishes, different kinky things,
Well, nowadays we not be.
and they expand on it deeply. Bang Brothers just pick up a woman, put she in a bus, drive she around, about 50 man riding that, not the bus, riding her. And when she reach the destination, it's about 50 of them break on she, That's what they do. That's their genre of porn. And there are women who are willing to go and do that.
Well, this is the part that gets me. They have women that.
Why it gets you? Don't use that word, man. Come on.
No. This is the thing that happens strange. Like sometimes you will get a woman, and she will go because recently here, not recently, but a couple of years, they mentioned that some woman went with 200 and something men.
There's no record. There's no record. The record is 1,000 and something.
1,000 and something?
Yeah.
One
woman. In 1996, the record was 600 and something. She couldn't walk for 2 days, but that is okay.
Yeah, but when you think in terms of something like that happening, how many or how long a period that she would have taken to go through 600 and something, a week, 2 weeks, or?
No. One after the other, no sleep. You're doing it from morning till night until you're done. Each person have 5 minutes. That's how they just do the record. You have a certain amount of minutes to do your thing.
So whether you break or not,
it doesn't matter. It's not about breaking.
When the clock runs out.
When the clock runs out on you, you pull out and the next man push in.
It's like
you never watch it?
No.
The marathons of sex?
No.
Okay, well,
it's like one of those things.
There was a woman who used to do that in Florida every year.
Yeah.
She and her husband. I wonder if they still do it, but I haven't got a circular on that for a long time. Every year, I think it was in October, they would send out invitation. Whoever show up at the hotel, all you have to do was wait your turn, and she taken one after the other. The husband is there in the room, timing. You have 5 minutes. Go ahead. 5 minutes up. You have time up. Come out. Next person go in. And so they go in. But when you come out, you are leaving there, She's still jerking you off,
Until you release.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you brought a very interesting point that I never thought about it. When I heard that, this woman went with 600 or the case may be, and I saying to myself, so if somebody is taking longer than, let's say, 20 minutes, how could she have gone with 600? But now you...
That's time.
Now you enlighten me in the sense that you have a timer. So if you don't come in 5 minutes, she assists you.
No, she comes out. Sometimes they have fluffers, sometimes they don't have fluffers. It's going for a record, they do it in a particular way. She'll take 4 at a time. 4 at a time. 1 in mouth, 2 in hands, 1 in vagina or anus.
Oh, okay. Call it multiple. Anyway, folks, taking our time 15 minutes before 11 o'clock. Just to remind you once again, due to the mature subject of this program, parental guidance are there for advice.
919 is the record.
919. Wow. That would cover how many?
In 1 day.
1 day. Wow. You're getting the information right at hand.
No, I know the record or something like that, but I wasn't too sure. I don't keep track of those kind of records.
No one say so. She must be now.
I remember the first person to break the record.
Yeah.
Well, create the record, I should say. She didn't break a record. She created the record. She couldn't walk for about a week.
Wow. Anyway, folks, taking our time 14 minutes before 11 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. Sexologist, the only one in the Caribbean. Dr. Raj Ramnan, and we're going to take a break and would be right back with you. Stay tuned. There's a lot of... wow.
This is Power 102, empowering you.
Incredible India, located at the White
That's the woman.
KFC and Pizza
919.
What is it? It came out.
to 24 once a year only. Come and shop in easy comfort, full Indian food court, home decor, teak furniture, curtain and shades,
Wow.
footwear, jewelry and much more. We accept Wave and credit card, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Incredible India, located at the White Tank behind KFC and Pizza
4741
from September
65
to 24. Admission is
6.5.
65. Yeah.
out today.
Want to get your products and services out
Who
to
batted?
more
They
customers?
just got a wicket. They
How
just
about
got
getting more people into your
Well, then
store?
will be two.
wicket.
Then
Does
will
your
be two.
brand need a boost in
Yeah,
exposure?
they just got a
Then
wicket.
radio advertising on Power 102 is the solution you've been looking for. With packages tailored to your
Hey,
needs.
that
and a
guy
team to
with the
create
beard, he could
radio
bowl one.
ad, the choice is clear. Power 102.
A fella in now.
Empowering you.
I don't know his
Call
name.
us today at
I look, he bowling here now.
627-6937 and ask to speak to a
He
client
could bowl
advisor
one.
about your
I
ideas
don't know
and
his
brand.
name.
We are Power 102, empowering
He
you
is spin.
and your business
Oh,
today.
Forward.
Howard, where he's from?
Forward.
Start your weekends with Sir Charles and Calypso Classics. Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. Calypso Classics.
Forward Ahmad.
Where he's from?
He from Pakistan.
Oh,
Enjoy
that man
classics
could
from
spin a ball
Always
too, boy.
Calypso, Sparrow, Stalin, Kitchener, Brother, Shadow, Calypso Rose, and many more Calypso Classics with Sir
Will the
Charles.
finals be in Trinidad or?
Yeah.
Trinidad?
Brian Lara. Next week Sunday. You know where I'll be.
Saturday mornings, 7 to 9
I don't like it up
a.m.
there.
Only on
I never went much
Why?
like it. I don't know.
Because it's south.
Calypso.
Like all the fellas,
No,
all the fellas from the west, only like nothing in
No,
south.
not because it's south, but judging from how you have to drive in and to come out.
I don't care if they play cricket in 2 I go.
I know that. I was surprised you came
Rishma,
in.
how are you, darling?
I was surprised you came in tonight.
Nah, couldn't miss program.
Yeah.
I know we qualify. So.
But and it's not to say it's a final or semi-final.
From 6 to 10 p.m. on Power 102. The Reggae Ride with the Empress, Kaylan, and the ultimate DJ Shane. Smooth and good music. Join us for some soothing reggae music on a Saturday.
Real reggae music.
The Reggae Ride. From the old to the new, we play only the best. The Reggae Ride, Saturdays from 6 to 10 p.m. on Power 102, empowering you. All inclusive
Actually, Forward is Australian.
Huh?
with the best music and personalities to power your day. All day on a
You
Saturday.
know, there's really a beautiful woman going to watch cricket. I know why.
And it's not directors, we only doing
I
first.
know why. Yeah, serious man.
And the ultimate DJ Shane.
Seeing some women.
No, but all the commentators made that comment. They say Trinidad is the most exciting place for
You know, man, you see some women. Yeah, boy. But I can't see why they didn't have the final in the oval.
because the government bought the final. So the government had to play it in their oval. Queen's Park Oval is a private place. They have to pay for Queen's Park Oval.
Oh.
Whereas Brian Lara Stadium is
Yeah,
the government
because
owns,
when
so
you're
it's
thinking
free.
in terms, the oval is the better ground.
We know that, but the government bought the final.
So you have to play it at their ground.
Of course.
Informative sex education.
Why would they go and pay
No, but that
Queen's
don't
Park
make
to
sense.
have the
That
game?
don't make sense.
Although you'll get a better crowd in Queen's
A
Park.
larger crowd.
9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj Randanan, the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think
But what I don't like is that people leave all over Trinidad to go Queen's Park Oval for cricket. But for them that cricket at Brian Lara Promenade, Brian Lara Stadium, people in the West don't go.
Well,
And that is terrible.
yeah, but the thing I
If you're
heard,
supporting cricket, doesn't matter where it is.
yeah, but I think one of the reasons, the main reasons, is they say to get in and to get out.
No.
That
You're
is what
taking
it
the
is.
highway to go down.
No, I'm talking about get out of the stadium itself.
Very easy. Anybody who say that they don't know South, very easy to get in and get out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is problems.
Like excuse. How come I just go and get out?
Well, taking over time, it's now 10 minutes before 11 o'clock inside Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with sexologist Dr. Raj of Total Imaging Viaduct Therapy Center in St. Augustine, where he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Now, for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone, feel free at 2228255, also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or text messages, you can also do that on his private mobile at 7401961. This program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah.
UFO is on.
Hey, family man.
Carlos.
I haven't heard from Carlos.
Carlos said good night, big brothers.
Yeah.
So he's on. We haven't heard from Carlos in a long time.
No.
Let's see who else.
What about my brother Wayne?
Haven't heard from Wayne in a long time. Well, I see personal pictures where he on the DMZ. In the days.
Yeah, back in the days, all right.
Back in the good old days.
Yeah. What about my friends out in Rio Claro?
She just sent me a photograph.
You see how I could read mine?
She just sent a picture.
Look at that,
Good night to you guys. Great program. Always listening to you. I love you guys. Enjoy your weekend. Reach home safe.
Oh, so sweet.
And here's the photograph. Before you think I'm lying to you.
No, beautiful. That is real family, you know.
Yeah. Super family.
Super. Yeah.
Super fly.
Yeah, so we were saying, we were dealing with people addicted to porn and how they could handle their story.
Well, again, because their introduction to sex is not the natural way, you should be introduced to sex the natural way, which is through a relationship, through physical touch, through feelings, as opposed to porn. It is not a good introduction to sex. There are many young ladies out there who are introduced to porn at a very young age, and I'm talking before they're even 10 years of age. You know, many young men that's come to me, or young ladies that's come to me, and their first sexual act was watching porn when they were 6 and 7 years of age with their bigger brother or sister or cousins, or peeping in and seeing their mother and father watching porn, and that's how they get to learn about sex. That is not a good thing.
No, because nowadays growing up,
psychologically damaging to you. If persons in authority or persons who work, let's say for example teachers in a school, should really get into asking that question, they'll be blown away by the amount of children that they have, sweet innocent children that they're teaching in schools, who have been introduced to porn already, and they as teachers are not even thinking that these children are introduced to porn, or those that know anything about sex. You'll be amazed at the percentage of young persons who have had that introduction.
And when you're thinking,
and I'm not saying that to frighten anybody, I'm just saying that for information. You don't believe me? Try it.
But you see, one of the things too in our days, we didn't have access to phones where you can...
Junior,
we would settle with a...
Now with smartphone, and every child have a smartphone who have access to a smartphone, or a computer, or an iPad, or something. Every child have that. And all they have to do is plug in the word SEX. And the kind of thing that comes up when you and I fighting. Well, not so much me, because I know a little more about computer than maybe you.
Oh, you know, but yeah. I know the computer.
And the older generation fighting to open a browser. They will open 10 browsers before you figure out how to open one. And they will navigate that browser and go deep into that browser before you could even figure out how to open up the next page.
No, you know, this is one of the reasons why I always say I can't understand why, and I don't want to hack on this thing, why it is that sex education is not introduced.
We have to introduce sex education at a different level and talk about different things.
Yeah, because
sex education is not birds and the bees and having sex. That is no longer sex education. If you think sex education is teaching children about a penis and a vagina and how to make a baby, that is not sex education. Sex education has gone beyond that. Way beyond that.
Yeah, but don't you think, I mean, if sex education is introduced in schools, it would make, you will have control over children being participating.
Well, I
in
always
having
believe
sex at the age of 8 and
education.
9.
I always believe education
Yeah.
is the foundation of everything. I believe information allows you to make the best decision. But if you're lacking information and education, you make wrong decisions. But when you have persons in authority who are as archaic as some of the laws that we have in this country, and for those of you who believe, Angie, I have to set the record straight, the minister never banned sex toys. No government minister, no government banned sex toys. I don't know why people feel my fight is with the government.
But I'm glad you mentioned that, because I have spoken to a couple of people, and what she is saying, why people is under the impression that the minister...
No government has banned sex toys in Trinidad and Tobago. I want to make that clear, crystal clear. And I wish people would be educated enough or sensible enough to ask the question or listen to all my interviews, read all the articles that are written to understand what is really happening. What is happening in Trinidad and Tobago is a group that is in authority, which is called custom officers, are enforcing a non-existent law based on an archaic principle from the 1800s. There's no law on sex toys. None. There's no law that mentions sex toys whatsoever, so the minister is right. But what he's not aware of is that there are officers who take it upon themselves to interpret an ancient, archaic law from 1800s to put a ban on sex toys because they feel it should be banned. So no government minister, no PNM government, no government has banned sex toys. So if all you have to come down on the custom officers who think they're doing their duty and they're not. Because just as how, and I want to make this very clear, just as how the head of customs could say it's up to the officer's discretion to allow toys or not. What could influence your discretion? If I come to you and I say it's up to your discretion to hand me this or not, and I say, nah, I go hand you that, and I pass a $5 and I say, yeah man, take it. And that bribe could help with our discretion?
Well, of course.
So why should a law be enforced based on an officer's discretion? Why? Why should things have to be done in an illegal way
To be legal.
to be legal? So that's why when I tell people the tail is wagging the dog in Trinidad and Tobago, all it doesn't understand, people don't understand. They don't stop to think. No minister has banned sex toys. All you stop that stupidness. Understand is the custom officers.
Yeah, because, and as you rightfully said, you know, I have spoken to a lot of people know I do this program, and everybody, I have never heard in conversation someone say, you know, the customs is at fault.
They blame the minister.
They blame the minister.
But the minister is not at fault because he don't enforce no law.
Everybody I've spoken to,
No, but this is where they're wrong. My thing is, I told the minister to be educated. Educate yourself on what the custom officers are doing, and educate yourself on what is a sex toy. Because somebody asked him about edible underwear, and he didn't even know what that was. He said he didn't know what that was. So that is lack of education. That is what lack of education means. You're ignorant of what these things are. And it's not an insult. I didn't never say it in an insultive way. There are lots of things I'm not educated in. Rocket science, for example. Because I choose not to educate myself in that. But if I have to, I will. If I have to talk about it, I will go and read up on it. Or make a phone call with somebody who's involved in rocket science and find out, hey, what rocket science is all about, right?
Yeah.
And then talk. But when you talk out of timing and you say something, everybody throw the blame on you, but it's not your fault. So I want to make it abundantly clear that it is not any minister or government that is placing a restrictions on adult toys. It is the custom officers, based on their discretion. And from the time the head of customs said that, people should start thinking, what will influence a person to give you the right discretion? And long ago, police stop you for speeding. You have an infraction of the law. So say, man, give me a blind eye. You say, hey, you remember? And you saw his son by? Say, yeah. You know my daddy? Yeah. It's okay, yeah, go ahead. Now when the speed gun take you up, you could be Hollis' son or you could be Hollis. That recorded, you know. You know what they did in the United States to prevent bribery with police officers? When a police officer pull you over, he have to radio in who he pull over, the number of the vehicle, and why, before he comes to you. So if he say that you broke a traffic light,
that's mandatory.
Mandatory. He pulls you over for breaking a traffic light. He has already reported vehicle number PBX 2250 broke a traffic light. I'm not about to approach the driver. All of a sudden, when you go to the driver, is the brother. You feel he could not write a ticket? It's already reported, my friend.
And recorded.
And recorded. Now they have dash cam and all that.
Yeah.
What are you going to tell your superiors officers? That A is my brother. He broke the law. Enforce the law. That's your job. I'm not about brother and sister and uncle and auntie and tanty and thing.
So getting back to this sex toys banned, as the so-called say.
The enforcement of a non-existent law to restrict the importation. Listen to what I'm saying. To restrict the importation of what is considered to be sexual objects. Take it from there.
Okay.
I don't know why people don't ask me, you know. Instead of jumping off the hoop and making all kind of comment about things that they don't know.
And you know, they have made
I go on all the media. All the media, I go on all the media. I was on television this week on CNC3 explaining the same thing again. No minister has banned sex toys in this country. No government has placed a ban on sex toys in this country.
Okay, so what is the present situation now?
The present situation as it stands is that any custom officer, based on his or her discretion, could confiscate any item that they consider to be sexual, including a book, a picture, a photograph, a drawing, a representation. Once they, in their mind, this is sexual, it is an offense. But the funny thing about it,
that's a funny situation to be in, though.
The funny thing about it is that today, Jack will tell you that this item is objectionable. And tomorrow Jane will tell you, go ahead with it.
But this is what I was about to ask you. Because it all depends on who you come across.
But if they could be influenced, you could influence them also.
But that's a whole new ball game by itself.
That is being practical. That is being practical.
Yeah, but
you never watch movies where the bouncer stand up by the door. And,
yeah.
And a man try to get you and the bouncer push him away.
Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden the fella go and he give him a five. And it's not really a five in the hand.
Oh yeah.
And he say, you go ahead. That is influence because it's up to the bouncer's discretion whether you go in or not.
But do you think that, well, I know you're fighting them on this, but do you think that it will come a time where, hey, look, the minister or the government, whoever in charge, will say, hey, look, speak to customs and say, look, there's no ban on toys. And you don't think it will ever come to that?
No, there'll come a time when they'll change the law and say there's no ban on these things. What law are you enforcing?
Because the way you're explaining to me now, like there's one law for the government and then there's one law for custom officers.
There's interpretation of a law by those in authority, for example, the minister. So when he came on the air and he said that there's no ban on sex toys, he was right, because there's no law on sex toys. How could you ban something when there's no law on it?
Can't. But
he right, he damn right.
Yeah, you can, but then again.
But he don't enforce the law. He's the head of that ministry, and that's all. The persons who carry on the workings of that department in the ministry are customs officers. And they are the ones who will tell you this legal or this illegal. But the funny thing about when a friend comes with the same thing, it doesn't be illegal, you know? I wonder why.
Touche? No, it's I mean, it's a tricky situation because, okay, let's say I come in.
You remember a time you couldn't bring stereo and thing into this country?
Oh yeah.
You remember those days?
Yes, I remember those days.
You know what people used to have stereo in their house?
Yeah.
And they all know a custom officer.
Yeah.
All they know somebody in charge.
One of the
or they were a custom officer.
Yeah.
All the things that were banned, they used to have it in their house.
Yeah.
How come?
Amplifiers was one of the main things you couldn't bring.
But how
an
come?
amplifier.
Nobody never questioned that. None of those journalists ever questioned those things.
And strange, those things have come to pass now, because you could walk in with a computer, you could walk in with an amplifier. I remember when I was coming home back in 1980, I came with an amplifier, but almost 800.
You have to go and get a radio license and all kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
$60 for a radio license.
And demanding, and I had to pay, I think it was, but I can't remember the exact, but I know it was over $2,000 to get it cleared. And at the time they told me I can't take it out, I have to leave it.
You have to leave it in bond.
Yeah, in bond, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There is enforcement of a law at that time. And then the law changed.
Yeah, because I mean...
So I always tell people what is illegal today will be legal tomorrow, and what is legal today will be illegal tomorrow. Such is life. Another day in paradise.
Another one of my... yeah, I like that line.
But I am going to take it as far as it's going to go.
So you're going the whole mile?
Oh yeah. All the way to the Privy Council.
You're going the whole mile?
All the way to the Privy Council.
Well,
if that's where it goes, that's the way it's going to go.
No, judging from what you, I mean...
Because it's about time. We have clarity, we have classification, and we have closure. It's about time. And all you idiots out there who want to ride my back, go ahead and ride my back.
So in a situation like this that is taking place here right now with you, you haven't been getting support from, I mean, you have a lot of sex shops or people sell under the table. Nobody have come to your assistant and say, hey, look,
Only one person.
Dr. Raj,
Only one
you know,
person.
we are fighting this thing together.
I thought it was 2 when I made the announcement because the person said it was coming Saturday and never turned up. So only one person.
So out of all these people,
all these
Trinidad
people
and
who have
Tobago.
adult stores and shop and whatnot, none of them give a rat's tail.
So basically what they're doing is
They ride in my back, but my back broad. But I hope all you remember that they are the ones who ride Dr. Raj back and never help out one bit. And show them it by not buying from them.
Yeah, because I have no...
Go in the store and tell them, all you support Dr. Raj when he was fighting to get this legal. I will come and buy from you.
Yeah, because I've noticed since you in this fight here, I haven't heard anybody else come and say, you know, add something to
Not a person. Or you see my listeners and viewers and whatnot, they support him. In every little way they could. Raj, keep up the fight. Thank you. Blah, blah, blah. Send a text message. We're glad you're taking up the mantle of this fight. Whatever. We're backing you 100%. But not one of those owners come and say, we with you. And that's the nature of Trinidadians. A bunch of nimakarans.
No, because I know, I mean, when you're dealing from a medical point, I know for a fact a lot of people depends on these adult toys.
Therapeutically.
For therapy, yeah. So, in a case like this, I know for a fact a lot of people are experiencing problems now.
A lot of people cannot, a lot of clients cannot get the things that they need. But I keep on, you know, Junior. I have been, what people don't know about me is that I could take licks. I have been fighting this battle silently on my own for over 25 years, you know, from 1984 till now, you know, that's what, 34 years?
Yeah, 34, yeah.
For 34 years, you know, if you don't believe me, go to customs and tell them pull up my name and see from when I was charged for sex things. And at first I was afraid of them and I used to pay fees. Never get a receipt yet. Eh? Funny thing too, boy. I wonder why.
Never, touche. Yeah.
Never get a receipt.
Never got a receipt.
Never got a receipt from then till now for paying a fine. When I pay my duties, I think I get a receipt, not when I pay a fine.
Wow.
From 1984 till now.
Now you're speaking in terms of, yeah. Never gotten...
34 years I've been charged almost every year. Well, not every year.
But ever so often.
I've lost 20% of all my shipments. Last year alone. I think last year I take the biggest hit.
Okay, so let me ask you another question now that deals with this.
And you know, I just beg them to charge me and let me go to court.
When these toys are seized, whatever become of them? Because you know no, because
who the ass knows?
No, because you know you're thinking in terms. Okay, like for instance, you will hear them putting things in bundles and burning.
Burn what? Some of them has their own business too.
No, but you never heard of anybody. You know, you have never heard that they have gathered toys, adult toys,
and say we're going to destroy it.
Because that would be a big thing.
We're going to destroy all the sex toys that we seize.
You know, you have never heard anything.
Nah, where you hearing that?
You have never heard. I've never.
Where you hearing that?
Yeah, no.
In this country.
Anyway,
if you live in the Philippines, where the Prime Minister take everybody motorcar and
yes,
run a tractor over it,
yeah, and make them come and see, and make them come and
Yeah,
witness.
tell them come and stand up and watch it.
Yeah, make them witness what they.
You think we that situation?
Anyway, folks, taking return. It's now 15 minutes after 11 o'clock inside Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM, the guru of sex education. And just to remind you, for those of you who might be listening to Sexplosion for the very first time, Sexplosion is featured here on Power 102 FM every Thursday and Friday evening. On a Thursday, my brother, Big Mac Daddy, he sits in with Dr. Raj, and they go from 7 until 9 o'clock. And on a Friday evening, I come in and I sit with Dr. Raj, and we go from 9 until 12 o'clock. Well, tell me what we are going to do at 16 minutes after 11 o'clock. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Kiki, how many overs? Got Junior tell me.
Now you're on commercial.
Yeah, well, you on commercial, but he will tell me how many overs.
No, this subject was very, very, very important.
This is Power 102, empowering you.
Incredible India, located at the white tent behind KFC
Oh,
and
do you get this?
47 balls and...
I'll give you got this score? Yeah? Oh, and I'll be the still commercial. Running out, I've given you
And 90, how much runs again? 91 runs again?
They think they're moving, they think they're getting that? You think they're getting that? Those runs?
It's possible. It's impossible. Come and start to lash mad. If Nicholas Puran get away.
92 for 3.
If Nicholas Puran get away.
He trouble.
He could change his game in 2-2s.
12 over 12 one ball. 89 out of 47.
Empowering you. So call us today at
89 runs and 47 balls.
627-6937 and ask to speak to a client advisor about your ideas and brand. We are Power 102, empowering you and your business.
From now on, the overs will start climbing. The run rate.
Start your weekends with Sir Charles and Calypso Classics. Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. Calypso Classics.
Excuse me.
They just get somebody,
they just stomp him out and they say, yes, he stomp out.
This fellow could gold, boy. This Pakistan guy, man.
The Australian.
The guy with the beard, the guy, but he's good, boy. That man spinning ball all over the place.
Yeah, but that's a 6.
That's a 6, yeah.
Like Puran, you know.
Yeah, that's the little young boy.
You're not afraid he will. When he gets off this. I don't stop it.
I see he bad. He good.
I seen a home game, Queen's Park.
Right?
Yeah. I seen a home game, Queen's Park playing comments. And that man destroyed them, you know.
He have developed into a good little batsman.
He's strong too bad, you know.
Because, yeah. And he's no big.
But I say so wrong, you know. Queen's Park.
He's very Queen's Park.
That man's strong.
Nice, yeah, nah.
Yeah, time in.
Every Saturday from 6 to 10 p.m. on Power 102. The Reggae Ride with the Empress, Gaylan, and the ultimate DJ Shane. And good music.
Not right in ball yet.
I see ball.
I see ball.
Join us for some soothing reggae music on a Saturday. Reggae music. The Reggae Ride.
Now right head not in cricket.
I don't know what. I don't know. Oh. Yeah, because they try him at a couple opening. Yeah, because they try him in a couple opening and.
Now well, I know why.
Yeah.
Empowering you. All inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM. With the best music and personalities to power your day. All day on a Saturday. Sir Charles, Chris, DJ Maggie, Gaylan, and the ultimate DJ Shane.
This is Capri, and you're listening to Power 102.
All inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM. The power of music. All inclusive Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Well, Narayan bowled 2 overs.
He bowled 2?
For 8 runs.
Ball.
For 8 runs.
Empowering you.
I want to just keep down that side and the other man on the other side just take the wicket. Just frustrated, see.
You're going to only chip him.
Yeah.
Explosion is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj Ramnanam, the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think that sex is totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts in the brain. The largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
Tune in for this discussion on all sexual matters. Sexplosion on Power
So that's spin that ball, boy.
Powering you.
There you go, man. Oh, you see it there?
It's a reflection.
I want to continue that you are listening to the magic of sex education right here on Power 102.1 FM. The only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center of St. Augustine. And don't forget, folks, our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you are sending in a WhatsApp message or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our Power 102 FM board, and taking over time 21 minutes after 11 o'clock. Yeah.
You know, I keep telling people, when somebody asks me the question, is it good to horn or should I horn? My answer is always yes, sir. Are you prepared to face the consequences? It's the same principle by which I operate when it comes to dealing with persons with sexual dysfunction and selling sex toys or getting sex toys for them. A person might tell me what it's illegal or immoral or bad. I face the consequences. Me a bitter about it. All I ask is that you do it across the board.
You go right, yeah.
That's all. Don't do it to me alone. Do it across the board.
Yeah. Because it puts you in a position where there is a law for you, but it is not for another person.
Right, and it should not be that a law is being enforced on the discretion of an individual.
No.
Based on his or her whims and fancy. No law should be enforced like that.
Yeah.
No law. And there's no law that says that there's a ban on adult toys. None. It's an enforcement by customs based on their whim and fancy. And I keep telling them that. I keep telling them that. Where is the law that you're charging me under? Let's go to court. Let a judge tell me that it is so and so. And if I'm not satisfied with that, let's go high court. Let's go further and let's go further and let's go as far as it's going to go to determine what is considered to be lewd. Imagine you could be charged for being a vagabond if you import a sex toy. A vagabond. That's it. How dotish and old this law is.
Now that when you're thinking in terms of that particular a vagabond, that's when we was growing up.
But that's the charge.
Is a vagabond?
Yes. So I'll gladly stand up and say, yes, I'm a vagabond, charge me. I'm not being cocky, you know. I'm telling you that you are wrong, wrong, and wrong.
Well,
I'm not a sexologist by joke, you know. I'm not a sexologist by name, you know.
No, but I hope they have some clearance on that pretty soon.
They will. But we asked for clarification and we haven't gotten it.
I really hope that.
The funny thing about it, we have written a legal letter asking for clarification on the law, and we haven't gotten it.
Haven't got an answer.
Well, you get an answer for when there is no answer for something. How could you get an answer for something when there's no answer for it? So we have gone to step 2 now.
Or you're going to another level.
Oh, we have gone to another level. We have gone to step 2. There are 2 other steps. And one step is not dependent on the other step, you know. It's not. So the legal part of it I leave to my lawyer, Mr. Jagdev Singh, Mr. Taklal Singh, and Karina Singh. I leave it to them. They handling the legal aspect. So I'm not talking about that. I am talking to the individuals or the ordinary human beings and citizens of this country who are faced with these persons in authority who take it upon themselves to enforce something that should not be enforced.
Okay.
That's who I'm talking to.
That's shedding a light on a whole new game.
And that's why I tell people I'm thankful for those who say, yes, we understand what you're doing, we support what you're doing, and you have my support. And those same people should go to all these sex shops or whatever they have, adult places all over Trinidad and Tobago, and tell them that you all are riding Dr. Raj back. And you have no moral authority to be doing these things. Tell them that. Let them know that. And furthermore, tell them, I will not be patronizing your business.
Yeah.
I don't care if I have to call Dr. Raj and order something and he drop it for me. But I am not buying from you. Send the message home.
I was surprised that, when this thing broke loose, I was surprised that, nobody stand up behind you.
I'm not surprised.
No. I was really surprised that because...
You are surprised, but I am not.
Because when you're thinking in terms, there's so many places, whether it's behind the counter, under the counter, that deals with adult toys, that I figure at least 4 or 5 people would have said, hey, look, Dr. Raj fighting for something for us here. And we could
I am fighting for the survival of their business. And not one of them will give you a phone call of encouragement.
But
tell me how right that is.
But everybody's sitting back waiting for a positive result.
No, but tell me how right is that?
No,
that I am fighting for the survival of your bread and butter. And you will not even call me and tell me thanks or you have my support.
No, that's not fair at all. That's not fair. In any part of the world. Any part.
But that's the reality of it, my friend. Just as how I decided to make sex and sex business legal in Trinidad, and I'll keep on fighting for that. It's a decision I made as a young man that this is what I'm going to do. And I stick to my guns with that. And I continue to say that this is what I am going to do. Right?
You're going the whole mile.
I never asked anybody to start off. I didn't need the endorsement of anyone except my wife, my mother and father, my godfather. I'll survive. I'll go on. But I just want people out there to know that all these persons out there who only interested in what they could get out of it and put nothing into it.
Yeah. But as an individual, I know how you think. It's, not to stand up for something for people, and you're not even getting.
That ain't easy.
I know. No, I know that is
not easy.
That is more than
you
hard.
fighting a fight for other people to benefit from it.
Yeah.
And you ain't getting a.
You're not even getting.
You ain't getting a pat on your back from them,
No.
They're buying a bottle of water for you to drink,
But everybody, and the thing about it is that everybody's waiting for a final result.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's saying, well, okay, the curtains are drawn.
Oh yeah. There are some of them who want to profit from it too.
And not one could.
There are some of them who want to profit from it in a different way also.
Not even giving you one word of encouragement. That's a hard pill to swallow, no family.
Yeah.
That is a hard pill
That's
to
the
swallow.
life of Raj Ramnan and my
And then
friend.
when you're thinking in terms that, well, of course, to hire lawyers, it's an expense.
Well, that part of it is a different kettle of fish.
But that's an expense by itself.
Right.
And you're not even asking for that. What you're just asking is to support you in what you're doing. And you're not getting any support.
Well,
boy, I tell you.
Kiki put it right where they're leeches.
That. That's a tough act to follow, boy.
But I have a plan when I'm successful in.
Okay, but tell you what we are going to do is go to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Good afternoon. Dr. Raj,
Yes.
I would like to talk to you. I'm living in a relationship for the past 28 years, right? And I supported my husband, and he's not, well, doing anything, and sex life is so grim that we sleeping together in the same bed, nothing is happening, and you know, I get up, make breakfast, cook lunch, clean house, wash clothes, do everything. It's not there. And it took me 4 years to find out that he has an outside child. And that is still in my mind. But I don't tell him about it. But it's living in my mind. And I have 3 boy children for him. How do I deal with that? I work in, and every month I get paid. I give him $1,000 for groceries. And it's hurting me. It is hurting me, and I don't know how to deal with it, how to live with it. But I go in with the flow. And it had times I don't have passes to go to, and I ask him for money is a problem. Dr. Raj, I'm being so frustrated. I don't know what to do again. I don't know what to do again.
How old are your children?
I'm trying to I live not me in my house. We live in together. I am the household. I get the house. I do everything. But at the end of the day, when I get paid monthly and I give you my money, you're not helping me. But if I give you, you're complaining, you're calling. Month passing on, I hear nothing. And this week passing, I hear
So what he have to get money for?
Dr. Raj, I'm frustrated. We don't have sex. We don't sleep together.
Yeah, but what he have to get money for?
We on the same bed.
Yeah, but why do you have to give him money?
Because he's saying that during the week he will buy the chicken for $100, and I will call him and say, bring a pack of flour, or bring this, bring that, and then I have to pay him back for it.
But he don't eat from it?
Pardon?
He doesn't eat from the same food that he brings?
Yes, he does.
How old are your children?
I have a 23-year-old, a 20-year-old, and an 18-year-old.
But this man is taking advantage of you?
And I know physically, spiritually, mentally, not verbally, but verbally is like you're taking advantage of me by taking my money.
All right, that's what he's doing. He's stealing from you and the children. He's denying the children that. And
yeah.
He works.
And you know, when he suffered chest pain and stuff, and when I get about say, you want a cup of ginger tea, I'll make you ginger tea, I'll do everything. But when I sick, you don't pay attention to me. I just won't pay attention to him, that he pay attention to me.
Well, in situations...
I don't shop for him, that means he don't shop for me, he don't give me nothing. He working. He gets paid every week. And he don't give me a cent. Not a cent, Dr. Raj, not a cent. Not a black cent. But I will still get up and make his tea, his breakfast, his lunch, cook his dinner and everything. And if I do it, he vex. I'm terrified. So he's saying the money he's spending during the week, when I get paid monthly, I have to give it back to him, and he will give it back to the house. But he don't give it back to the house per se.
And how are you giving it back to the house?
By a pack of rice and a pack of flour and a bottle of oil or something, and that's it. But he more focused on himself and his car, and I'm being frustrated. I'm telling myself I'm being abused mentally.
They call that financial abuse.
Financial abuse. No, I'm serious.
No, that's what they call it. That is financial abuse.
Yes,
You are being used financially. And you're not getting the satisfaction from your relationship?
For 2 months fast, he just say, you ain't giving the money, you know. You ain't giving the money, and I say a month pass, and 2 months pass, and they giving the money.
Ma'am, if what you're saying is true,
If it's true,
I'm not denying that, but what I'm saying, I have to say that because I'm only hearing one side of the story. If what you're saying is true, and this is the behavior of the individual, right? You have to know what's best for you, you know. At the end of the day, because he is not doing anything to enhance your relationship. He's not doing anything to better your life. So you got to know what you have to do.
and can I tell you something else? It's 28 years I'm in this relationship. It's 28 years, not 28 days, 28 nights, 28 months, it's 28 years. Because of my 2 children, and I can't take it anymore.
Well, you reach a point where the children, that's why I ask you the age of the children. The children are grown up now, so you have to make a decision.
I'm willing to make a decision, but I'm willing not to lose my life.
I understand that too.
Because I did it one time, and he hunted me down and found me where I was, and was like, if he ain't come back, and you know, I'm scared, but I don't want to do something wrong to end up. I don't want to go to jail. I'm a working woman. Have a decent job with the government, and I don't want to lose my job.
Correct. And that's why you have to. That's why.
Everything, but
that is why there are legal way of doing things. There's a legal way of doing things for your own protection and whatnot.
Dr. Raj, could I make an appointment to come and see you personally?
Call the office 645 4543
543
4543.
4543.
Make an appointment and come and see me.
I will do that. I'll try my endeavor best to get off. I need to.
All right.
Thank you very much, Dr. Raj.
You're welcome, my
and
dear.
I love your program.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
And those are the situations that people face in this country. Because of threats and because of fear, they can't do the things that they want to do.
Yeah. Because when you think what the callers mentioned is 28 years. I mean,
that's an investment.
To take that frustration.
That is an investment.
And the icing on the cake is that what she is saying is that he has a child on the outside.
Right. That is grounds for divorce. Infidelity is grounds for divorce.
Yeah.
So she has to weigh her options and move smart.
Apart from moving smart, you're going to move forward as well. But one thing is working.
You see, finding strength in yourself to do things is a difficult thing.
But I'll tell you something, one thing she has in her favor is that she don't have small children to deal with.
Well, that's why I asked the question.
Yeah, but she's dealing with 2, adults. And but I wonder what the children have to say in the matter.
Well, they will know.
Because when you're thinking in terms of a 23-year-old, I mean, is a man.
They will know the reality of the situation.
Yeah. But
so let's see what happens.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, taking return 21 minutes before 12 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM every Thursday and Friday exclusively on Power 102.1 FM. On a Thursday, Mac Daddy, my brother, he sits in with Dr. Raj. I come in with him on a Friday evening until 12. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
It's a score, sir.
137 for 3, 16 or 11, 2. It look like 16 or no? Could be 16.
Yes, 16 of us.
Yes, 22. There's bumps of traffic going down the road. Terrible traffic. I don't mind the traffic, eh? But the driving, they hitting you because of them coming out the Opals. Family, the other night I going home. If you see how many people driving by around by
well, it's a brutalized.
by QRC,
Does your brand need a
Well, that's why they have to
exposure?
breathalyze.
Then radio advertising on Power 102 is the
As
solution
bricks.
you've been looking for. With
As
packages
well,
tailored
bricks.
Oh,
to
what you doing
your
with yours?
needs and a team to create the
After when I leave, you have to go wrong,
ideal
Mr. Man.
radio
Go
ad.
back to Rice Road and go down there,
No,
man.
if you go
Empowering
down
you. So call us
on
today
Tradgate
at
Road, there's traffic
624
right on.
at 627
Not on Tradgate Road, go back here to
and ask
Rice
to speak to a
Road.
client advisor about your ideas and brand. We are Power 102.
You're not going on Tradgate Road?
And your
From here
business
to right.
today.
You mean go down on the, oh, you mean go straight
Go
down?
back so.
Go straight down?
Yeah.
St. Vincent?
St. Vincent Street and cut across to Rice Road.
I think about that now.
I don't know where you're going so far and look to go into the traffic.
I think about that. Just go straight down Tradgate and go up by Radisson and go up.
Or you just go to Peter Avenue and go right, cut across by Radisson and
No,
go.
I just go around the Savannah, go down by Cape Hawk, and go right around.
Oh my God.
Somebody make 50.
7 to 9 a.m. and
Only
only
poor
on
hand.
Power 102.
29? Who's 29?
Calypso. Trinidad and Tobago, we're ready, standing united and moving forward as one.
What's Bravo to Bully last over?
The
Yes, Puran.
other night I thought about you, you know,
In this together.
and you wouldn't believe how I thought about you.
Oh.
Let's do
Bravo
this
Bull.
with Shema Wilson on Power 102.
They came about 2 6 that they got it.
Yeah.
Like I tell
I
you,
was there. I tell him, I said, what is man bowling?
I take out the
Yeah,
TV.
woman. I'm a future husband. I say, yes, but tell him to bowl then.
I take off the TV.
I said, tell him to bowl. He lost it with bowling.
The Reggae Ride with the Empress, Gaylan, and
I took the TV off. That's enough from you. I can't go
I'm
see
glad
this
Puran
stuff.
make on 50.
Okay, yeah, Puran cool. How they go about selecting them to play for
They have different categories. Trinidad team, they mash them up.
because I see
Our team, they mash them up and they split them all over the place.
because I see
From the very beginning.
I see where they move Gale too.
That's why, well, no, Gil asked to move.
Oh, Gale asked to move. Okay.
That's why Ramlin was the captain of Guyana. Pollard was the captain of Barbados.
Okay.
Jamaica remained, kept the whole team. That's how they won it the first time.
all-inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM.
And they just break up Trinidad.
Well, yeah, they mash you up.
With the best music and
So almost all the teams have 2 and 3 Trinidadians playing.
Oh.
Sir Charles, Chris, DJ Maggie, Gaylan, and the ultimate DJ Shane.
This is Capri, and you're listening to Power 102.
All-inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM.
Not all?
Of music.
Not all?
Somebody
Oh.
somebody out.
All-inclusive Saturdays
Is that
from
right
6 a.m. to 10 p.m. all day on a Saturday on Power 102. Empowering
I'm
you.
gonna jump out now.
Careful, you fall over, darling.
102. And now on new days and at new times, the country's most informative sex education program, Sexplosion, is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and
It's
Friday
Puran.
from 9
What's
p.m.
that good pet? That's a good throw, boy.
Dr. Raj
What is that directed?
Yeah.
Sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think that sex
Oh
is
gosh, you
totally
put it
below
cool
the
now.
waist. It is not
Jet
below
Li?
the waist. It
Yeah.
starts in the brain. Your largest sex organ that you possess
Jet Li.
is your brain.
Tune in for discussion on all sexual matters. Sexplosion on Power 102. Empowering
What's Puran
you.
out? The chances of the winning goes down.
He must make about 51. 50. Well, taking return is now 16 minutes before 12 o'clock inside Trinidad and Tobago, number 1 nighttime program when it comes to sex education, Sexplosion, with your host, Dr. Raj Ramlanen of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine. Folks, some lines are open. You still got a couple of minutes in which you can interact with him via the telephone by simply dialing 2228255, also at 6128255. Yeah,
I'm going to run some balls. You let me
then
know.
commercial, yeah.
You're not keeping me informed, man.
No, but just now you jumped the gun on me there. You got the score before me, so I was
Well,
wondering.
somebody sent it to me.
Oh, I thought,
So tell me.
142 for 4,
No.
17
How
over.
many balls? How many
17 overs, ball.
how many runs again?
Oh, you mean that?
48?
No, 39 from 18 balls.
39 from 18.
Yeah.
All right.
Boy bowl
So
out.
that's 238
Yeah.
from 18 now.
No, we can get that. No, we had them covered.
This time we have to bowl a tight over.
Tight.
Yes.
But you see who bowling?
Who bowling, Bravo?
Yeah.
Who could? Don't make me lose heart now. Man is a good captain, but he lost it to the bowling.
No, I don't. Yeah, I admire him as a batsman.
And a captain.
And he do well. But there's something.
Man learn under Dhoni, you know.
No, something is wrong with the.
The man learn under Dhoni, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, the batting and.
You can't be a bad captain if you learn under Dhoni.
He's a good batsman. He's a good fielder as well. A good captain.
But a bowl.
But don't.
Not
bowl.
not the CPM.
No.
Ezekiel, afraid to open. Afraid to open.
Okay. I know he's not batting, you're talking. I know you're so good. I know he's not batting, he's speaking in terms of. So.
Easy.
Easy.
Can't wait to get home now.
Easy like Sunday morning.
Can't wait to get home now.
According to the guys on the block, that is what we are talking about.
Talking about the Commodores.
The Commodores.
Easy like Sunday
Easy
morning.
like Sunday morning. Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 13 minutes before 12 o'clock inside Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM. I tell you, Trinidad and Tobago longest nighttime running program. We are in our, 18th year?
18th year.
18th, yeah.
18th year.
18th year. And for those of you who might be listening for the very first time, on a Thursday and Friday evening, right here on Power 2.1 FM. And we do take sex education to a whole new level, putting the fun back into sex education once again exclusively on Power 2 FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. It's in Augusta. Our lines are open, as I mentioned. Still got a couple of minutes in which you can interact with him via the telephone 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Yeah.
So, things of a sexual nature.
Oh, just drop a catch, yes?
Of a Bravo too, boy. And you see the man cabo.
No, he didn't bone him. He dropped a catch. The fella hit him.
The plane almost started off, you know.
Yeah. And you know it was an easy catch, huh?
Is that no easy catch in cricket, you know?
No, man. Hey, I saw one the other night.
Don't ever think
Guy, boy, that was a beauty, boy.
there's no such thing as an easy catch in cricket.
You was in the oval that particular evening, right?
Yeah, right on the boundary.
On the boundary, buddy.
As a matter of fact, my friend taught by Sarubai, who was with me. He thought it went for 6.
The fella flew like a airline, boy.
He ran to the right and...
Yeah, it was a beautiful
Beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Make me remember the days I used to play cricket.
Yeah, I remember when you used to play cricket.
Wind ball.
You used to have to carry the water thing.
No, wind ball. Nah, but your brother was a master batsman in wind ball, boy. Still is, but you know, age catching up now, you know.
When you make a comment about that,
No.
Don't have to comment about myself.
No getting the same age with you there.
And I don't want to do that.
Stop.
He let that ball go for 4, boy. What the hell, boy?
I tell you.
Sloppy feeling.
It's more than sloppy. Anyway, folks, taking our time 10 minutes before 12. Right here on Power 2.1 FM, Sexplosion, Trinidad and Tobago #1 nighttime program when it comes to sex education, knowledge and experience. This is what it's all about when you are on the inside of Sexplosion with the guru of sex, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, and 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Yeah.
Easy want to know why I'm afraid to open. You're afraid to open at the end of the program right now to go and open, boy.
Yeah, the stocks.
I have to stop the program.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, and
let me go home and relax.
Then you could go and open and home.
That is a different thing.
No, but that's a different kettle of fish altogether.
A different opening.
Yeah. No, but it's always good to open at home, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter
Packages.
Yes, and look at that. You'll be the opening batsman. depending on
I
you.
would be.
And when you're thinking in terms of it's only 2 balls. So you're good to go.
Yeah, Junior, I hear
Yeah,
you.
Nice. I like that. That's one thing that is one thing I like with us, we catch one another so fast,
Very easy.
Make me remember Ambrose in his days. Hey, what about our friend Gordon?
Gordon is good.
Have you heard
Gordon
about
is
him
in,
recently?
yeah, he's in London.
But he's in the cricket thing over there.
Yeah, they had a gala for him last night. Some of the Indian cricketers, former Indian cricketers.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice, man.
Yeah, and they had a nice gala event for him last night. So he's doing well. He spent 6 months over there, and then he comes back to his for the earthquake. When he had the earthquake, his friend, she called me, Sonia, to make sure everything was okay. So that was very nice of them.
Oh yeah.
And they're very nice people. That's one thing I must say. Yeah. So she made sure we were okay, and she, Gordon, take that call. Gordon asked her to call, and
well, that's good. Yeah. Okay, we go back to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Hi.
Hi.
Pleasant evening.
Good evening.
I accidentally found this program.
Accidentally found this program. I'll be happy to accidentally have you.
Is it? I'm embarrassed, right?
No.
Don't be.
Don't feel
I'm
embarrassed.
divorced 20 years, right? Let me load the radio, please.
Yes.
Sure.
We could sing a song if we right.
In the meantime,
We did it my way. But we have to remind her that
Yes, lovers.
be back with you.
I'm divorced 20 years, right?
how old are you?
69.
Oh, a good age.
Like the number.
69.
Oh my God, you're rude.
Yesterday was National 69 Days. I was looking for somebody to do a 69
years
with.
old today.
Well, happy birthday.
No, thank you. But what I want to know, right? All through my divorce years, I've always respected my children. I got 3 sons, and I never had anybody really. And what I want to know, is it normal for me to feel horny now?
Yes, why not?
Hold on.
There she goes.
What you going to get, toy?
Hello?
You there with us? Hello?
Oh, she have hold on.
I went to take off the AC.
Take off the AC, why? You afraid it get too hot?
Well, I passed menopause.
No, I mean that kind of hot.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you the truth, right?
Yeah, tell me the truth.
All through the years, only young boys run me down. And they were in love, but I wasn't in love. I was in lust.
You were in lust.
Yeah.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
And it was great.
You was getting your satisfaction.
Yeah, but I fell in love through the way, you know. And but I always stop it because I go to church and I think about my 3 big sons, but they all have their girlfriends and married now.
All right.
So is it normal for me to still feel sexy?
Of course it is. Why not?
But I have 1 tube and 1 ovary since I'm 27.
154.
Right.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm listening to you.
Listening to you.
I had breast surgery, I had cancer, and sciatic nerve come out, all kind of crazy things.
Right, but you feel horny.
But no, I don't like that word. I feel nice and sensual.
Why you don't like that word? That word is a nice word.
No.
So when you're having sex, you don't use the F word?
Huh?
When you're having sex, you don't use the F word?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a wild chicken when I'm in bed.
Oh. Like I said, not an invitation.
And you know something what I'm scared of? Although I'm 69, I look like about 58 or so, you know? And people misunderstand me because I'm very friendly and they come on to me. And I want to horn somebody right now.
Who you want to horn?
A radio announcer wife.
Okay.
He plays lots of lovely music for me.
I know who it
and
is.
I tease him.
I know who it is.
Where he works?
What's your name?
Where he works?
Yeah, what station he works at?
I watching him, don't worry, I know who it is.
Never say that station.
Why? So how will he know? Or how will we
She
know?
telling you.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah, and I will give him chats and tell him I'm spreading out and I dare, but which is true, eh?
No.
So you just call his program?
Yeah.
The program has been in night after 9 o'clock?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. And you have a nice voice.
Mm-hmm.
I named Junior Saldana.
No.
No.
Not Junior?
I will never say the man's name.
Why?
He's 61.
He's 61. Oh,
No, well, it can't be
no,
Junior.
that couldn't be me.
It can't be Junior.
It can't be me.
Well, tell him what you want to do with him and give him a thing.
Yeah, give him a squeeze.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
I used to be a pharmacist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to remember the name. The name of your foreskin, is it frenulum?
The frenulum is attached to the foreskin.
Yeah.
The foreskin is the foreskin.
Yeah. And another thing, when we having sex, right?
Who's we? You and the radio announcer?
Yeah, let me just, no, I didn't have it with him in the past.
Uh-huh.
You know, there is something like under the head of the penis where we press to stop premature ejaculation.
The spongiosum.
Okay, forget that. What I want to
Well, it's called the
ask you, right?
spongiosum, but
I'm a Canadian by birth, but I live in Trinity, right?
all right.
And I want to ask an embarrassing question because half of my friends don't know what is that, right? Is there a thing called a super pussy?
A super pussy, of course, that's the pussy that is grab onto the penis.
Yeah. Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, one of them, or?
Yeah.
But we don't believe you until we find out for ourselves.
Well, I will do it with two all if you want to know. But not in an orgy, separate. Okay, let me stop kidding, right? Is there really a thing called super pussy?
Yes, there is, darling.
I was born with that. And I want to ask you something.
Well, there's a blessing.
Huh? Yeah. One more thing. You know, this is very serious, right? Since I was 6 years old, I used to feel horny and I never knew what was that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the postman come and I have a crush on him, my mom used to say, look, your boyfriend come, you know?
You used to masturbate too?
Like there's certain guys I used to feel real. No, I didn't know about sex, eh?
But
I used to be
did
like,
you 24
really,
runs and 6
I don't know what is the word. Now I'm a grown up. Really, really hot, you know?
Uh-huh.
And I could toss and turn when I was 11 or 9, thinking about guys, but I did not know about sex till I became an adult. So was I abnormal? I'm not an nymphomaniac, eh?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a mixed blood.
Mm-hmm.
So was that normal?
What, tossing and turning and feeling for sex at that age?
Yeah.
There are many young ladies who went through that.
Because
there are young ladies who
girlfriend told me
masturbate at that age.
That is abnormal.
Who told you it's abnormal?
My girlfriend.
Well, it may be abnormal for them, but it's not abnormal generally.
So I should cherish my pussy
Yes, of course.
and brush it off. Good night.
Just make sure your pussy got a lot of brushing.
Yeah, I go.
To keep
I
the
go
fur.
be tempted next year. I go real waste time. I'm a pensioner, yeah? I'm not joking, you know, I'm very serious. I don't go wild around and stuff like that, right? But I'm wondering if it's
Yeah, but how are we going to
normal
find out if you really have a
69
super?
to still see the need, you know?
Yeah, but how are we going to find out if you really have a super?
Well, put your finger.
Well, you see, you
That's
don't.
all I will allow you.
Okay, well, we'll find out. Bring it here.
But you see, I always do Kegels, you know, the exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to know...
Let me make
what
a
is
guess.
the
Let me make a
G-spot?
guess as to who the person is now.
What is the G-spot?
The G-spot is inside of the vagina, at the roof of the vagina, behind the clitoris. That's the G-spot. It's like a rough area on at the top of the wall there that you can play with.
Okay.
The fella named Mukesh by chance?
Happy, eh?
The fella named Mukesh by chance?
Mr. Baburam?
I don't know. You calling the last?
Foolish Indian guy with a bald head?
I don't know.
No way, Jose.
So that's not the guy. But I didn't even call her last name.
Me? No way. When you said Mukesh, I listened to 97.5 at times, right? That's an Indian station, and the host is Mukesh Baburam, but it isn't he at all.
Well, I don't know. I just make a guess.
No, it's Safra Hossain.
All right, darling.
Bye-bye.
You take care. Bye.
Okay, nice speaking to you.
So we've reached the end of our program.
Yeah.
That was a nice end to the program.
Oh, no, yeah.
And if she's serious, well, of course she's going to... my number is 7401961.
Yes, and I mean, that's a super number.
Yeah, for superb.
For the super.
Okay, how many balls and how many runs?
Well, the boy bowling.
3 balls?
3 balls, yeah.
18 runs?
18, and Bravo is bowling the last.
Oh, God. That is possible.
They just hit a 6, not too long.
Yeah, the first ball was a 6. So, good night, folks.
You've been listening to Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM with the only Sexologist.